Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. This week, my guest, he saw Ed Norton butt naked in American History X and saved him in the shower. Was that a shocking scene, Guy?
Hey, man.
Let me get a proper intro. Guy Torry, a.k.a., let me see, Life, slept on your couch that you did not know about when you was filming Ride in Jacksonville.
That's funny.
So Guy Torry is my guest this week, and me and Guy go back, 23 years.
23, yeah, 23.
97?
Yeah, because I've been in the game 28, so yeah, 23 years, man.
And a lot of people know this about Guy. And I remember Showtime had this show. It was Jim Carrey's show. It was about the Comedy Store in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
And my guest
Dying Up Here.
Dying Up Here.
Yes.
My guest next week is actually Eric Griffin, who was on the show.
It was great on that show.
Amazing. But a more interesting, I think, TV show would have been if they could do a TV show about the Comedy Store in the 90s on Tuesday night when you had Fat Tuesday.
It's in the works.
Is it? Is it? I mean, that was my break in LA as well as many others. And I had Ari Spears on a few weeks ago, and even I said, I think I saw you the night he said he already had Mad TV in the bag.
Uh-huh.
But I specifically remember executives from that show being there to see Aries.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I may still have that video. And I have rare video because the Comedy Store didn't let anyone film in there at all. And there's some rare occasions where I was able to film in there and bring cameras in or, snuck some cameras in to get some stuff in there. And I have Aries on stage, but I remember getting a call from Norm Nixon, NBA great Norm Nixon, former Los Angeles Laker, always a Laker, was managing Aries at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he called me that day and said, hey, man, I need a favor. And I'm like, what? He said, Aries has an audition. They want to see him for Mad TV. Can you put him up tonight? I was like, yeah. Because the reason why I created that night specifically was to get black comedians showcased in Hollywood. Because Fat Tuesdays was all about, since they wasn't going south to Wilshire to see black comics anymore, I wanted to bring the hood to Hollywood and showcase us where they felt safe to come. So that night, I remember that day very, very well. And yes, it was weird seeing Ed Norton naked. Which brings me to, because I booked American History X because they saw me at Fat Tuesdays. So that night has so many, it birthed so many careers and helped so many people that it's worth talking about. And it's funny because that scene where I'm carrying it, there's a scene that got cut out.
Of American History X.
Yeah, where I carry him out. Like fire, I'm mopping and I come in the bathroom and he's laying down there, bleeding from his ass. Mm-hmm. And I fire him and carry him out, right? And so I'm picking up this dead Ed Norton with a centimeter Peter. I mean, not dead, but I passed out Ed Norton.
Was it a stunt double?
No, that was Ed.
It was Ed?
It was Ed. and I remember ad-libbing the line because there's really no lines like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I pick him up and I'm saying to him, don't get hard on me or I'll bust your ass. What's left of it? And it didn't make the movie.
I can see that. The don't get hard on me, I'll bust your ass. I can see that making it. But you, the comedian, you took it too far. Just went, wait a minute, they're not laughing yet? I'm going to keep going.
No, but and the crew was laughing, but the reason why the scene got cut out, because realistically, in prison, they don't have you do that many jobs. I was folding sheets, I was doing gardening, and they had me in there collecting towels in the shower, and they said one prisoner has that many jobs.
I just caught that. I saw the movie, but I just caught you did have you were Jamaican.
Well, I had a lot of jobs, yeah.
You had about 8 jobs in that movie.
But to tie it all together, American History X, Ari Spears, Fat Tuesday at the Comedy Store. Man, that night, you sleeping on my couch, which I didn't know about.
Yeah, we had. Let me tell you something. We had some nights at your apartment at your expense. I'm sorry.
So let's unpack
this.
Unpack that.
So, Guy used to have this guy named Terence. Terence, still my dude.
Still my guy.
St. Louis, heavy set dude. If anybody was at Fat Tuesdays from like 97 to 2003, you knew Terence.
You knew Terence.
I went up at Fat Tuesdays one night, and that's where I met Terence.
Let's put a pin in it right there. Terence was my best friends from St. Louis who moved out to L.A., and I taught him how to book Fat Tuesdays.
Well, you tried to teach him
I tried to teach him how to book Fat Tuesdays. So Terence was staying with me for a while until he got on his feet.
And then we became roommates.
Right.
Me and Terence were roommates because you were off shooting Ride in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yep.
And I kept driving. I was in the Navy. So I kept driving up to LA and driving back, and the only place I could get up was like Fat Tuesday. And a lot of times it wasn't even about me getting up; it was just making contacts to get me in other rooms.
Right.
And that's the one thing that a lot of people don't realize. And I'm not in the scene like I used to be as far as every day on the road, but as far as like the black comedy scene in LA, then it was really generous. You hear about all the bad stories.
Right.
Like people really was like, come do my room, come do my room, come do my room.
If you were funny.
If you were funny. Well, maybe if you weren't, maybe they set them up to look good.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, that's the other side.
I like to think I was because I was funny. But Terence found out I kept driving back and forth, so he goes, hey, God's doing this movie down in Jacksonville. He's going to be gone for a couple months. He goes, if you need to crash, just crash. That's all I need to hear, because it went from driving up on Tuesdays to I had my weekends off. Now I'm driving up on the weekends. All of a sudden, we in party mode at Guy's apartment.
I had no idea. And the thing about it was, I was already, Terence, I had a loft, like a 2-level loft.
Yeah, we used all of it.
Right, yeah, see, and that's the thing. And my rule was, Terence, whatever you do, don't fuck in my bed. Don't.
I'm like this.
Don't fuck in my bed. It's like no man's ever be in another man's bed unless y'all a couple. But don't fuck in my bed.
I'm not saying... let's not get rumors started. Not me and Terence.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, I remember coming home one weekend, and I had a big screen TV in my living room, and with a VCR on top. This is how old it was, VCR.
This is before flat screens.
Yeah, right. Way before flat screens.
Your big screen was half your living room, by the way.
It was. Good thing I had high ceilings. So then I had another TV in my bedroom with the VCR on top. And I may have a DVD player too. So anyway, I come back in one weekend, and you know how you watch a VHS tape, and when it gets to the end, it ejects itself and just sits there? Mm-hmm. So I open my armoire where my TV was in the VCR, and I see a red videotape in my VCR that was kind of ejected. Now, back then, the only colored videotapes back then was either a kid's movie or porn.
Right.
Well,
he wasn't Jeffrey Epstein. I'll put it that way.
Exactly. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I pull it out, and it's like Deep Butt 3 or some shit like that, right? I'm like, this dude was fucking in my bed, because there's a TV and a VCR in the living room where he could have banged on the couch or even in the loft.
Yeah, but
part.
I was sleeping in the living room. He couldn't bang in front of me. I honestly,
that could have been the Bang Brothers.
I thought you had another room, because I was like, Terence has spent a lot of time in that bedroom, and I was like, there must be another bedroom I don't know about or something.
No, man. And that's why I had to kick him out, because I know you end up moving to LA.
I was moving, and then but it ended up working out because he did always clean up. I'll put it that way.
Wait.
Well, I know I cleaned up a bunch.
Well, he cleaned up to the best. I'm OCD.
Yeah, you are.
I'm military.
That's a fact.
So there have been times when Terence drove me nuts, and I was shooting. Also, he was staying with me too when I was shooting American History X.
Well, I don't know about that. Was
because
before me.
That was stressing me out. If you look at that movie and you see the acne on my face, it was stress, because I was on the Def Jam tour at the same time, right? So I come in from out of town, and I couldn't find a clean glass, and I've been gone for like 4 days. And Terence had used up all the glasses and didn't wash anything. So I said, man, if you're gonna drink up all the, use all the glasses, man, put them back in the damn dishwasher. So then I come back the next weekend, all the stuff in the dishwasher, he cleaned them, but they was all messed up. He didn't load the dishwasher right. Who doesn't know how to load a dishwasher? Right. So I showed him. I said, hey man, this is how you load a dishwasher. I don't know if you grew up with one or not, but this is how you load the damn dishwasher to get maximum cleanliness of these damn dishes. So he said, okay. I go back to town again, I come back, it's like I never said shit. Like nothing. I'm like, Terence, we went over this. Now this dude 5 years older than me. So I said, Terence, this is how you load a dishwasher. Boom, boom, okay, whatever. I come back in town again, like I said nothing. There's 2 times I done taught him. I said, he said, fuck it, man, I'm just gonna wash my hand. Okay, here's the rack under the sink. When you wash them, make sure they drain, put towels down, whatever. I come back in town, Nothing. Like I said, nothing. And I was gonna whoop his ass. I said, man, and no offense, but I was like, man, are you retarded? Cause I talked to my mom, and my mom said, maybe he's LD. I'm like, what is LD? Learning disorder. I said, oh, well, if that's the case, then I'll take it easy on him. I said, Terence, I asked him, I said, Terence, are you LD? What's that? I said, nigga, you have a learning disability. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I'll just move out. I'll move out then, because you're pissing me off, man.
That's when he moved out?
Well, you needed a roommate, I think.
Yeah, well, I was coming to LA, and I was getting out of the Navy, and I was like, because, when I was first doing Fat Tuesdays, I was in the service.
Right.
I would just get off work and come do Tuesdays and drive back. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to make that move. Like everyone in this business,
comic, yeah.
You make that move. I was like, I'm ready to make the move.
Either New York
Terrence
or LA.
was like, Terrence was like, well, guy's coming back. So I got to find a place. He ain't going to let me live here any longer. I was like, all right. So that's when me and Terrence became roommates.
Right.
And I went through the same thing that you're going through.
Man.
Let me tell you.
I told him at that point, I said, hey, man, look, I love you enough as a friend, bruh, but us staying together is going to ruin our friendship. I will pay your first and last month rent. You got to get the fuck up out of here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
and I bought him a used ass car.
That was the red car they used to drive around?
No. Remember the Corvette, the Corvette, the blue Corvette.
Oh, I remember the blue Corvette.
That was G-Thang's old car that he had out here, and I bought, yeah.
Oh, I just remember he had the red car. I don't know if it was a Mercury or something. He had a red car. It was 4
no,
doors.
that was the Corvette was first. It was a Corvette. A comedian named G-Thang, and moved out of St. Louis, moved to L.A., had to go back home, and he left his car impounded or whatever, and I ended up getting it out and paying for it and giving him some money, and I gave it to Terence to drive because he was working for me at Fat Tuesday, so he needed, to get around.
Yeah. My dealings with Terence as far as like not being the cleanest
Oh,
is,
my God.
I asked this girl on a date, and then she goes, yeah. So I was bringing her back to the apartment. So before I left, we didn't have no furniture.
Y'all had shit.
We didn't have nothing. Our
It
living
was worse than a dorm room.
If you were to walk into our apartment, you would think it already got robbed. There was nothing in the living room. There was just, he had shit in his bedroom, I had shit in my bedroom, nothing in the living room. But I set up these placemats, these plates. I was making spaghetti, easy. Can't fuck up spaghetti, right?
Can't.
So I told the girl, hey, that was my way to get her back to the place. You know what? I just cook. She goes, you cook? I go, yeah. I get her back. Guy,
Yeah.
why did I had the place spotless before I left, right? I was on golf for like an hour. I come back, there's fucking grits. Terrence ate grits every day. Grits boiling over the stove. He had that Yorkshire Farm U-shaped sausage.
Yeah.
The grease was all in the thing, right? The kitchen is dirty as shit. Left there. I opened the door with the girl. Terrence is on his bed. Hold on. He's on his bed, not leaning back, forward on his stomach with his legs up, with the food right here, just watching TV. And I walked in, he goes, what's up? I go, dude, what the fuck?
And
not only that, I thought you were gone for the evening. I thought I had the apartment to myself.
And Terrence is described as built terrible.
Oh, yeah. That's
He's
he's
built
Nate
terrible.
Newton. Nate Newton with
He's Nate
Cowboys.
Newton, exactly. He's built terrible.
We dating ourselves.
Right.
We Nate Newton with the Cowboys. Like there's not a lineman we can think of today.
But nicest guy you want to meet.
Oh, he's the best.
Most loyal guy you want to meet. If I had a bag of money and didn't know how much was in it, I guarantee I could give it to Terrence, come back, and $1 wouldn't be missing.
Yeah.
That's how much I trusted Terrence. He was a good dude. He was just dirty as hell.
Yeah, that's a fact. Now, I don't know if you remember this. Remember you had those big Hershey Kisses on top of your
TV?
In your kitchen at the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And was that Century City?
Palms, really. Kind of Palms. Right off Venice. Right off Venice by Sony, by Columbia Pictures.
Yeah.
Columbia Pictures back then.
You had like 3 or 4 of these big Hershey Kisses. And I don't know if you remember this. This is hysterical. So my buddy Scott in San Diego, now I'm hyping LA up. Like I'm telling all my friends in San Diego, dude, I met this guy last night. Like, I met Eddie Murphy. I met Martin Lawrence, and I really was meeting these people, but I didn't know them.
Right,
I had them.
right.
But the way I'm telling the story is we boys
Y'all
now.
kicked it.
Right?
Y'all kicked it.
So Terrence calls me and says, yo, Robert is in town. That's Martin Lawrence's brother.
Yeah.
So he goes, yo, we're going to go over to Robert's house. All right. And then so I call my boy Scott. Scott brings these 3 girls over from San Diego, could have been 3 of the ghettoest chicks I've ever seen in my life. And I looked at Scott like, what the fuck did you just bring? So these girls, they walk into Robert's house, and Robert's got an amazing house, amazing backyard. And he's like, I literally went, the one girl walked in Robert's backyard and went, oh, this how my shit gonna be. Yeah, this how my shit gonna be. And I looked at Terence, I go, she just peeked. Her shit will never be like this. So Terence gets so fucked up. He's damn near passed out.
And he don't drink.
Oh, you're drinking that night?
I know, but I'm saying he don't. So it's take a wine. I've seen him get drunk off a wine cooler.
Yeah, that's the first time. Probably the only time I've seen him drunk.
Yeah.
I'm talking. He was like asleep on the couch. So now Scott is with one girl, so he's paying attention to her. So these other 2 ghetto chicks are walking all through Robert's house. I'm trying to keep up with them because I don't want nothing missing, right? So I'm like, oh, no, I can't go in there. Can't go there. And Rob was upstairs most of the night, right? So I'm trying to keep him in the backyard.
Right.
So anyways, I was like, Robert finally came down and was like, he was hinting, he's polite, but it's time for you to go, right? So I wake Terence up. I drive everybody back, right? So I got Terence passed out in the passenger seat. I'm in the front. Scott's in the back between the 3 girls, right? And the whole time I'm looking back, they're like, they better not have taken shit, you know?
Why would I have to take shit, man?
Oh, no. I'm not saying all girls like it, but they had sticky fingers. I'll tell you why. My instincts were right on this one. So then I call Scott the next day. Now I'm going to your place because they were in your apartment too. I'm like,
fuck.
They better not take anything, right? So I call Scott. I go, I look up. When them fucking Hershey Kisses are missing, man. You had these 3 big ass
Hershey
I'm
Kisses.
talking this size Hershey Kiss. One of them's missing. I call Scott. I go, hey, man, did one of them girls have a big ass Hershey Kiss on the way home? He goes, man, there's chocolate all over my goddamn car. I go, they were eating it?
Oh, you fucking kidding me?
How the hell did they... To get to these Hershey Kisses, you had to step on the counter and reach them up.
Yeah, because it was high. It was on my top shelf.
I must have went to the bathroom. That must have been all they got a hold of.
Ate it, and I was like, okay, cool, ain't no trip.
Nah, Scott King, that's my homeboy. I can say his name now. Scott King, my homeboy in San Diego.
So they stole my Hershey Kiss.
They stole that big ass Hershey and ate it on the way back to San Diego. Because Scott and them was trying to stay, and I was like, they can't stay. They cannot stay, dude.
Thank you for protecting my crib, man.
Yeah, you and Robert. Terence was passed out the whole night.
Yeah, Terence can't drink. Yeah. So, I've seen him drunk maybe once in my life, man, and it was terrible.
Well, the thing about, okay, so we've talked enough
That's
about Terence.
That's what happened to my Hershey Kisses.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you probably still got 2 of them.
PTSD, man.
No, you was talking about Fat Tuesday gave a lot of people breaks. It gave me... My first movie was a Jamie Foxx called Held Up.
Yeah.
And Jamie came to see me at Fat Tuesday. And the next week I had the audition. And 2 weeks after that, I was in Canada shooting the movie. And that was all like bing, bing, bing. Because that came from Fat Tuesday. And I remember Magic Johnson saw me at Fat Tuesday when he had the Magic Hour.
Yeah.
And then he met with me. And they just, the network wanted a more experienced comedian, which I get. I was new. You can't have a new talk show on that. But I was like, yeah, I met so many people at Fat Tuesday.
And there's so many stories which I want to tell. Won't tell on this because we are doing the documentary. But some of them was just amazing, man. Meeting Quincy Jones.
That was he came to see me that night.
To see you.
I forgot I got a TV deal with Quincy.
Yeah, he came to see you that night, and he was back, and you were on stage, talking about dating black women. And he was backstage clowning you.
Oh, was he?
We're gonna say with a doc, but Quincy was backstage clowning you, man. Not in a bad way, but just joking about
he likes the
you.
white girls. That's what I told him. I said we could have hung out back in the day, Q. We would have never stepped on toes. God, that was a great meeting. Quincy was. That late 90s, like 98, 99, probably one of the best years of my life just because of how old I was, early 20s.
Right.
And you're moving out to LA, and I'm actually hobnobbing with people I'd seen on TV.
Right.
And they're telling me, like, they think I'm funny. So I was like, oh, I must be doing something right. And then, I'm at Quincy Jones' house, and we're putting a TV show together. And it didn't happen, but just those stories that he told me that I don't want to share because he told them to me in trust.
Right. And I'll be telling mine in the documentary.
But there's stories I would never share with anybody.
But the same thing. I mean, me moving out to L.A. in 92 from St. Louis, my brother Joto had already made it. He had done Poetic Justice. He was on Def Comedy Jam already and done a bunch of other things. And I mean, one of the first big celebrities I met was John Singleton at the time, but Bobby Brown, Whitney, when Bobby's album came out. But then Magic Johnson, man, meeting. I'm a Laker fan because of Magic Johnson.
You was a Laker fan of St. Louis?
In St. Louis. I started watching him at Michigan State, and then when he went to the Lakers, I was like, oh, that's my team. I got photos of me back in St. Louis at 11, 12 years old in Laker gear. So in high school in Laker gear. So when I moved to LA, and when I first met him, it was at a Christmas party that Joe had gone with Joe with. And then he came to Fat Tuesdays, and I just posted that picture the other day on my Instagram on his birthday. But that moment was like, wow, he's coming to see me perform, and it was the same thing, man, you're funny. And it's like, wait a minute, you're Magic Johnson. I think this is before I got my teeth fixed. So,
man, your teeth were jacked.
So, I mean, that's those surreal moments you speak of like seeing these icons and these legends, and then you're basically rubbing elbows with them, working with them, and they're fans of your work too, which is, it still blows my mind to this day.
Well, and it's the age we were at too that it was happening.
Yeah.
Like now you're in your 40s and 50s, you're over the fan phase.
I'm not.
You know what I mean? I am.
I ain't gonna lie. I've done a movie with Eddie Murphy. He's come to Fat Tuesday so many times, been in his house or whatever. I still like, that's Eddie Murphy. That's Magic Johnson. That's Quincy Jones. I saw Quincy Jones Grammy weekend last year. I'm like, that's Quincy Jones. I mean, I'm not over fan phase.
Oh, I am.
No, I'm not, man.
I'm not saying it's as a disrespectful thing. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's more like, and it almost goes back to my open mic days. I wish I could get that feeling back as a stand-up where I got butterflies just getting stage time. It wasn't about the business or money. Right. It was like if I call you or Terence and you told me, hey, man, we got you down for next Tuesday. You're going up third, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like this, oh, shit. I got butterflies immediately, a week in advance. And the whole week, every day was about, oh, shit, I'm going up this Tuesday. Oh, shit, I'm going up Tuesday.
Right.
And I didn't even like driving myself to the venue because I wanted somebody to drive me, so I just wanted to like, relax and don't
focus
talk
on
to
the
me.
show. Right.
And I'd always bring somebody that wasn't in the loop because I'd be like, you don't know who's going to be there. Right. I hyped it up like, you don't know who's going to be there, dude. It's crazy.
But it was the truth. Fat
Oh, my God. I saw Dice Clay go up there. And that's the thing. Even though Fat Tuesdays was a black room, I saw a lot of heavy-hitting mainstream, non-black, I don't want to say white, non-black comic. I saw Joe Coy go up there and kill it.
Joe Coy.
I saw Joe Coy up there and bomb. And we still talk about it this day. And I feel bad because I would guest host sometimes, right? And I got suckered into, I put Joe Coy up after George Wilborn one night. And George went a little long, as he tends to do sometimes. And then Joe where he was in his career and for that audience, I basically fucked him, and it wasn't on purpose.
Right.
I didn't put him in the right slot to make him shine like he should have.
Right, and that's what you got to do when you're booking a room and making a lineup, and that's what I was trying to teach Terence how to do. There was a time when I remember I did it one time on the wrong way, but the comic ended up saving himself. But there was a time when Mike Epps came and wanted to go up.
This is after Friday or before the Friday?
This is after All About the Benjamins and all that.
Oh, he's hot.
Yeah,
I mean, still hot.
He was hotter than slave pussy. Yeah. He was hot.
I can't comment on that.
Yeah,
that's
you can't
fine.
say that. But I remember him coming, and I had another comic who was supposed to go up there. He wanted to bump. I said, nah, let me put this other guy up first because he's not gonna be able to follow you, the energy and I'm doing that. One time I ended up putting Chris Rock came by, and he was hosting the Oscars, and he wanted to do a spot, right? And I had another comedian go up. I put him up right away, and I said, damn, I should have waited and put Tony Tone up, first. But Tony Tone killed it. Because no one knew who Tony Tone was. Tony Tone came on after Chris Rock and did Chris Rock.
Oh, really? That was smart. That was smart.
So what that did was it set the table for Tony Tone to go up and have a good set. Otherwise, it would have been like you following a legend.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago with Aries when he was on here. Because I say one thing Guy always did, he set people up to succeed in that room.
Always, you have to.
Because that night about the Mad TV, when the execs came out, I remember you specifically telling me, yo, Aries going up tonight. He's going to be third. Because I don't think I went up that night. I just used to hang out there on Tuesdays. But I remember just talking to you about it, like, yo, Aries got these execs coming out, so I'm going to put him up third. And I don't know why you were always quick to, like, just tell the lineup to like me and Terence. I guess I was always by Terence. That's why I knew.
Right.
So you probably was telling Terence and I was right there.
Right.
So in my brain, you was telling me now that it's 20 years later. Come to think of it, I was probably eavesdropping. I think I was in the bathroom. But I always said to Aries, I go, man, guy always set people up to succeed in that room, man.
Because the third spot is the spot.
That's the sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot.
That's still the sweet spot to this day. Theaters, anywhere.
Everywhere. I learned that. My brothers used to tell me about being on tour with Bernie Mac doing the Def Comedy Jam tour. And that spot, Bernie wanted that third spot. Because it was always 4 comedians. But Bernie wanted that third spot. So then flip 2 years later, I was blessed enough to host the Kings of Comedy tour. And
a lot of people don't know that.
They don't.
A lot of people don't know you were the first host of the Kings of Comedy. And I remember when you got it, I remember you telling me you got it. Yo, and you didn't even know. You said it like, yo, they're about to put this tour together with like, here's how you said it, with like Sid, Steve, and Bernie. So I'm gonna host, they're gonna have like some guest people come in every now and then. But you didn't even call like Kings of Comedy. You just went, yeah, they about to put this shit together, so I'm about to go on the road with these guys.
It's, sometimes I look back at things and it's like, I was a part of that? I mean, because in the moment, it's just to me, I'm in the moment. So it is. You don't know the how as big it's going to be. Like with American History X, I didn't know that was going to be the movie that it turned out being. Now with the movie Life, that was different. At that time, like this is going to be huge.
Life was one of those movies that, if you're in the loop, in the Black Hollywood loop,
right?
All we heard about was, yo, Martin and Eddie are both on their A game.
Yeah.
They were both on their A. Because Eddie was coming off a string of like movies that didn't do that well. And then, Martin had the pass out issue where he got a little overweight and stuff. So they were both had things they were overcoming. And then I remember I think it was you, like Anthony Anderson, everyone in the loop, even people that weren't in the movie would be like, yo, I heard Life, they on their A game.
Man, I'm telling you, Eddie set the precedence from day one, though, and people don't get enough. He don't get enough credit for this, man. But he, on the first day of Life, he told the director, let them go.
The comedians?
He told the director, let them go, let them do what they want to do.
Especially Bernie.
Oh my God. And to put that trust in us was like, oh, we got to be on an A game because you don't get that. You get some actors, man, who want to hold you down, but Eddie was like, yo. Let him go. And to do that with a movie like Life, because it was a period piece. Mm-hmm. So you can't really be ad-libbing shit that ain't period.
Right.
You had to really study the 30s and 40s and what the slang was and what the high five. There wasn't no high fiving back then. We had to really check ourselves on what was going on. So for Eddie to do that, it made us all step our game up. And then, like I said, working with Martin, man, was like, come on. One of the reasons why I'm doing stand-up because of Martin and Joe is Def Comedy Jam. And then to be a PA on the show, and then to write an episode of Martin, and now be be acting with him. Other than I did the episode of Martin too, but still, on the big screen is like, damn.
And I feel like my podcast should be called I Remember, because every comic I've had on, it's like we just swap old stand-up stories. I caught that on a couple episodes. I go, I remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember. When you were on the show, Sparks.
Was it Sparks? Yeah, Sparks and then Good News. Yeah,
I'm sorry, you were on Good News. Sparks
but
was
I
on
did guest on Sparks,
No.
That's how I started.
When you was on Good News and Sparks was right next door.
Right.
And you guys were on the same lot. And I remember I used to always go eat lunch. And I remember thinking, oh my God, what's it got to be like to have a fucking dressing room? Me and Terence just be hanging out in your dressing room. I go, this is unreal. I remember thinking, if I ever got a TV show, I just live in the dressing room because I had a shower, a TV,
bathroom, TV,
I was like this. Why get an apartment?
Couch.
I just stay here, craft service. I'll grab everything, I'll eat for the night, and I'm good for the next day. That's how I went through. That's how broke I was. Like, dude,
you all were extras.
I was never extra. I was just always hanging out. Terence would hop in and do an extra.
I had a few people that I got on to be extra. I think G-Thing was an extra a couple of times.
I remember one episode I was there.
Roman Murray, I believe. I think.
Yeah,
Roman Murray.
Remember Rockman Dunbar did a guest?
Rockman Dunbar, yeah.
He was a gangster.
He was a gangster.
I remember thinking he looked so young.
I think Fredro Starr was in the episode too. Or Sticky.
Yeah.
He was in the episode, yeah.
Good News, and then Sparks. A lot of people forgot about Sparks. Sparks had Terrence Howard.
That was a great cast. You had James Avery.
Right.
Kim Whitley. Miguel Nunez.
Robin Givens.
Yeah. Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
and Aviv Kenshin. That was a great that cast was crazy. But it was
Yeah.
Ed Weinberger who created that show, who created Taxi, Mary Tyler Moore, Cosby Show, Amen, Sparks, Sparks, and Sparks, and Good News. And so that was on who's a TV genius.
Yeah. I just remember I thought when I first met you, I was like, dude, this guy's doing it. Because I thought the townhouse was the goal. I was like, this fucker got a townhouse. Hold on, he got a gate. you gotta get buzzed in. and then I remember I got in your SUV one time and you had the Fat Tuesday floor mats.
That's right, I forgot about
And I
the
was like
Fat Tuesday
this. I was
floor
like
mats.
this. This motherfucker got floor mats.
And that was, you know what? That was a Denali. That was the first brand new car I had ever. Cause I'm not a car guy at all. I don't drive a lot. But it came that time when somebody was like, "Hey man, you I listened to the noise." And as the Yukon Denali had just come out, I think I was the second one in LA with the Yukon Denali because it was the first SUV that was kind of rounded. It wasn't boxy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I remember. I forgot what are those Fat Tuesday floor mats?
Don't ask me.
Damn. Maybe one of them
Maybe them
bitches.
girls.
I
was thinking too. Maybe one of them bitches in San Diego. If I go to San Diego, I see my boy Scott King. I'm gonna be like this. Yo,
Yeah, what about floor
what about
mat?
them chicks? I'll tell you a funny story. Completely. Well,
I'm really
not
missing
tell
the mats now. I'm like, where the hell are the mats?
No. I'll tell you a funny story about my buddy Scott King.
Damn.
Completely off subject. He got arrested. He shouldn't have got arrested. He got locked up one night, and his cousins was over his house. He had a little house in San Diego. We were in the Navy together. Did you ever meet Scott?
I don't know if I met Scott.
You met him back in the day. He was always coming up to Fat Tuesdays with me and hanging out.
Probably did.
And I just remember his cousins were trying to pawn all the shit in his house, going, "Hey man, we gotta get him out." And I go, "Are you crazy?" So his bail was $2,000 to bail him out.
Damn.
It was something minor, very minor. But I didn't want to. But he got arrested on Friday. If I didn't get him out, he was gonna be until Monday.
Damn.
So I was like, I
wait
get
till
him
the
out.
Judge.
I remember I get him bailed out, and I had been on Comic View, but I wasn't the host yet.
Right.
So to get recognized was far and few between. The freaking lady at the jail when I went to bail him out go, "Oh snap!" She didn't know my name. She said, "I just saw you." I was like, "Yeah." Scott came out and kissed me on my lips.
What?
On accident. He didn't know what to do. He was like this. "No way, bro." I go, "Don't ever do that again." I went like this. "You were only in jail for 6 hours, dude."
A true Hollywood
But
story.
I'll tell you about the dude, Scott. It was $2,000. And he said, "Yo, I'm going to pay you back, dude. I'm going to pay you back." I kid you not. Every single time I saw that dude, he put $100 in my hand until he paid me back.
Wow.
Every single time.
That doesn't happen.
No.
When I saw him, he still owe me.
Yeah, no, he would be like, "Hey, what we at now?" I just kept the tally. I go, "Yeah, 1,500. All right." And he wouldn't let me short him. There's
wow.
no point where I could be like, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "Nah, man." He goes, "Dude, you don't
I
even
see
know."
why he's still your friend.
Oh yeah, we're not. I wish we should be in better touch, you know.
Oh.
But you know, he still live in San Diego.
You went
and I moved
Hollywood on
on.
him? Did you go Hollywood on
I
him?
did not go Hollywood on him.
Gary went Hollywood on him.
Listen, he's been married like 2 times since then. He's lived in Vegas, San Diego, another part. No, we're still
Me
cool.
and Terence are still good friends.
Yeah. I still see Terence when I go to St. Louis. That's my dude, man. Now, there was a rumor, and this is before I got to Fat Tuesday. There's 2 things I want to talk about. Don't let me forget. Let's not forget your 30th birthday party.
I was just
And
talking about that.
Wasn't there the Tupac came to Fat Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to talk about it? Is that a documentary?
That's a documentary thing, but I can talk about it a little bit. I talked about it before. I met Tupac at Fat Tuesdays. But I met Tupac, first of all, the day Clinton got elected into office. Bill Clinton.
93?
It was 92.
92 when he got elected or when he got inaugurated?
When he got elected. The day, because we went and voted. Like, Joe had just finished the Poetic Justice. They were doing some pickup shots at the Sony lot, Columbia Pictures back then. And Janet was doing some scenes.
Janet Jackson.
Justin Jackson was doing some scenes. So we went to go meet this Janet. He's like, "Hey, come meet Janet to do some shots at the studio." I'm like, "Cool." I'm fresh out of St. Louis. I mean, August 30th, I think is when I landed in LA. This is like November. So I'm fresh.
T's still bad.
T's still bad. Still no money in my pocket. So I'm like, "Janet Jackson, I mean, you got a kid fresh out of St. Louis, 23 years old, I'm about to meet Janet?" Man, so as we're going to the set, Tupac's leaving. and he and Joe had an exchange. Oh, it's my little brother just moved out here. Oh, what's up, man? You know. And Tupac was hot. He was going after somebody. He was pissed off.
Oh, I thought you meant a girl. No, he was hot.
No, he was ready to whoop somebody's ass
Oh,
because
wow.
it was an incident. I think he went to jail for the shooting, whatever. He's like, man, these motherfuckers. You know, he was snapped. And my brother's like, man, you're a celebrity now. Have somebody else do it for you.
Right.
Don't get your hands dirty. But I remember being a fan of the movie Juice. And like, man, this dude can act. This dude is off the charts with his acting. Then I met him that day. I was like, oh, this nigga would act.
Yeah, that's really him.
That's who he really is. Because he went off just like that. And I was like, oh, man. But then every time I saw Pac after that, man, he was always supportive. Always, you know, hey, man, get out your brother's shadow. Create your own lane, man. You know, how's that comedy coming? And that was just cool that he would come to Fat Tuesdays, man, and Joe would want to go up and be like, nah, man, sit down and have a drink, man. Let your little brother get his shine on. You got yours already. He was always supportive, always looking out for me, always asking, you know, how I was doing, always making sure I was writing material and all of that, man. So, you know, Pac is just I would say early in my career, you know, helped me a lot mentally with my direction and getting out of my brother's shadow.
Yeah. Now, is it true, this is before I got to L.A., that there was one night Suge showed up, I don't know if Tupac was with him, and a lot of people were scared to go up?
Well, I was going to say that for the doc, because I was
Okay.
but I'll skate around it.
Listen, this is a trailer for the doc, man.
I skate around it. But no, that was the moment. When Suge started showing up sometime.
I saw
with
now,
Pac,
I started going there in the late 90s.
was it in the main room or the belly room? Because he started showing up in the belly room.
No, this is when it was in the main room.
Okay, yeah,
and that's where I saw Suge Knight the first time.
No, he started coming with them in the belly room. I started in the
upstairs
belly
in the
room
Comedy
upstairs
Store.
in the smaller room.
Yeah.
And when word got out that Suge was frequenting Fat Tuesdays, a lot of industry, although they were coming down there like crazy to scout talent, a lot of them were scared and stopped coming.
Wow.
Because they didn't know what was going to pop off. You know, that was that thing. When Suge was around, some shit going to pop off.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much before the doc, I mean, Suge got respect for me because I talk shit about him. I won't tell the whole story, but I was talking shit about his big ass, and this is before he got knocked out by the barber. So
Well,
this was people were still scared of Suge.
Yeah.
We talking 95,
Yeah.
96. So it's just interesting how that relationship was with Suge and I.
And that's how Tupac was coming with Suge Knight?
Yeah,
to the
he was
Comedy
coming.
Store?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one night they came after they did the California Love video. They came
wow.
straight from the set, straight to Fat Tuesday.
People have no idea how Fat Tuesday in the late 90s was a spot. You can go to any club, you can go to any party. You will not see more black Hollywood celebs than Fat Tuesday.
Denzel would come up. I remember Prince came one night. Prince came.
People don't even know.
Prince, big purple bus sitting out front, and his little ass was in a booth.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking Prince. So I mean, everybody. Charlie Pride was there one night.
Charlie Pride?
Charlie Pride, the black country singer, like, what? What the hell are you doing here?
Let me tell you, the first time I ever did it, and let me tell you how I did Fat Tuesday the first time and how we met. You, and this is gonna coincide with Nick Cannon, was you were in San Diego and you did a show, I think Outkast. You hosted, and Nick was in a rap group called The Bomb Squad.
The Bomb Squad.
And they went up.
D.A.
D.A. And they went up before Outkast, and you hosted, right?
Right. They won a local contest, I heard, to open up for Outkast.
Yeah. So Nick's manager at the time, Samir Toma, out of San Diego, Sam.
I was gonna say Sam.
Yeah, Big Sam. I did the funniest black comedian in San Diego contest, and I won it.
He's a Macklemore of comedy.
Yeah, it really wasn't the citywide search. It was a radio station called Z90, and I listened to the radio station, and they said, we're looking for the funniest black comedian in San Diego. So I pulled over, wrote the phone number down, called it, didn't say I wasn't black, got there, won the contest, and that's where Sam saw me. And Sam goes, hey, I got this.
Still can't win.
What?
White man win. Still can't win. Go ahead.
It was San Diego, it wasn't Brooklyn. Come on. It was San Diego. It was me, Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn, right.
And Nick. No, but Sam goes, he gives me his card and stuff, and he goes, yeah, I rep these the rappers, man, these local guys. He goes, they're actually going up to perform at Fat Tuesday. He goes, why don't you go up, meet Guy, and we'll see if we can get you on. And I was like, all right. So I literally went up, met Sam, Nick, and the other guy went up and rapped. And I don't know if I went up that night or the next night, but I do remember it was Christmas Eve was the show. And I remember thinking, who the hell's gonna be at a comedy club on Christmas Eve? Man, that's where Shaq was there. Everybody was there that night.
Man.
And I was like this, yo, I got pictures. I gotta find them of that
Please find
night.
them because we need them.
And this is how bad it was.
Please find
I had
them.
a Notre Dame jersey on,
Yeah.
blue jeans, and dress shoes. Why did I have dress shoes
You
on?
saw where Notre Dame. You said Notre Dame, yeah.
I had a Notre Dame jersey on, blue jeans on, and dress shoes. But that was crazy because I think I did go up that night. Because Sam said go up, and he called ahead of time. And I remember he called me, he goes, yeah, guy's going to put you up early 5 minutes. And I was like, all right. So I did my 5 minutes, which led to a few things. One, I think it's the first time Nick Cannon performed in L.A., and even though he was rapping.
Right.
And then that was where I met Terence. And Terence, the next week or so, he called me to perform in Guam.
I was booking. I was done Guam, so I was booking Guam, and then I passed it on to Terence because I was teaching him how.
Nightmare. Fucking
I was
nightmare.
teaching Terence how to. I went to Guam and performed, right? So the guy, should we say his name?
Pierre
Cockrell.
Cockrell.
Okay, Pierre Cockrell.
A thief.
Had me sending comics to Guam. So I was sending
Yeah,
comics
well,
to Guam.
fuck you
and
fuck Terence. Fuck
I got
both
my
of you.
money. But I was getting paid to book too, though.
But let me tell you what.
But Terence needed some money, so I was like, okay, I was
Yeah.
already working at that. So you know what, Terence, why don't you book it and you just keep the money?
You know what? I take it back. I performed Christmas Eve, and then I didn't perform again until the summer. And that's when I got booked to Guam because I got 5 minutes. Christmas Eve, I got 5 minutes.
Right.
I think this Christmas Eve is '97. I got 5 minutes. That summer, though, I was in the Navy, so I couldn't come up all the time. When I finally, I wasn't trying to bother you or Terrence a lot.
Right.
I thought you guys was like Spielberg and shit. Like he's got his phone is always going off. Not gonna call him. So I remember I finally got another spot 6 months later, May or June. That's when Terrence called me to do Guam the next day. But in those 5-6 months, that one night at Fat Tuesday, and I probably had 5 minutes because I remember I think I ran out of material because I go, when the fuck is that light coming on? Because you had that big bow in the back of the
big
comedy
clown
store.
bow, yeah.
I remember thinking like this, when the fuck is that light gonna show? Because I'm almost out.
Hey, when you struggle with material, you be waiting on that fucking light.
Yo, when I say I had like, I was like, I don't know.
Arsenio
like
Hall in
Tyson.
Harlem Night.
Yeah. I got a good 5 shots, but
Right.
that's it.
After that,
The war's over.
bah.
So, but in those 5 months before I got back up Fat Tuesday, I had grown so much because now I had my confidence.
Right.
It was like banging a beautiful woman.
Right.
It was like this. Oh, I got game now.
Right.
I'm good. I'm in the game. So when I came back and I got up 5-6 months later, I think I had like a 10, 15-minute spot.
Right.
Then I was solid. That's the night I got off and I was like, oh, fuck. That's when Terrence was like, yo, he called me the next day. Hey, what's up? It's Terrence. I got this gig in Guam. You want to go to Guam? Keep in mind, I'm still in the Navy.
Right.
So I was like this. I go, yeah, I can probably go to Guam. And I didn't even tell the Navy I went. I went for like
really?
4 or 5 days.
I wonder how that works.
Oh, you're not supposed to go, but I took
Right.
leave. I always took leave.
Right.
So I just remember, here's what happened with my Guam trip with this dude, Pierre. So Pierre Cockrell was his name.
Cockrell.
The flight's halfway to Hawaii. Our layover's in Hawaii.
Right.
And I got a middle seat, which I never really flown a lot, so I didn't really care. We come back to L.A. We're halfway to Hawaii, plane problem. We get back to L.A. Now I'm sitting at LAX, and this is before cell phones, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. It was before 9/11, so there wasn't a lot to do at the airport. You're just kind of sitting there. We take off 5 hours later. Now I have a layover in Hawaii. Then I get to Guam. By the time I got to Guam, which is like a day flight,
Yeah.
show's supposed to start at 8 p.m. I was supposed to land the night before. After all the layovers and delays, now it's like 9:30, 10 p.m.
Damn.
The night of the show. When I landed, this guy had the car and like 2 cop cars on the tarmac. And I got off the plane, they go, we got to get to the venue. We go to the venue. I get there, it's an outdoor venue, and
Right.
it turns into a club after the show.
After the show.
So I'm on stage. I'm supposed to do an hour. I'm about 30 minutes in, and I could tell the crowd's getting a little rough.
Restless.
Because they want to party now. Now you got the club people coming in.
Right.
Now you're hitting like towards 11 o'clock.
Right.
I literally looked at this dude, Pierre, and I go, hey, man, is it cool if I cut this short? Because everybody's ready to party. And are you guys cool if I cut this short so we can get this party going? Everybody's, yeah, we don't give a fuck. I go,
Right.
cool. So I got off stage. Party's there. I stay one more day. The next day I go to Pierre's house. I was supposed to get $500. He gave me $250 and goes, hey man, you know, you only did half the show, so this is how this works. He told me that's how this works. I don't know any better. It's like my first paying gig, and I go, oh yeah, okay, appreciate that. I go back to Terence. I go, hey man, is that normal? If you don't do your time, he goes, no, you're supposed to give you 500. I go, really? Give me half. I don't know any better. Why do I go back to Olden Polonice's celebrity weekend, right? In Guam. I go back like 2 months later, they sucker me in. And they said on this big packet they sent me, you're staying at the Westin, right? No. Everyone was at the Westin except me, Tony Royster, and this tight end for the LA Rams. This tight end for the Rams, right?
Wow.
It was the St. Louis Rams then. This tight end for the Rams was there. He was an ex-tight end.
I'm trying to think. I think I know who that was.
He was a mixed guy, big mixed dude. And we're all at this shitty-ass hotel. I can't even tell you the name of it, right? This is how shitty the hotel was. The water didn't work, guy. I had to jump in the pool with shampoo to get cleaned off. They left us out there for a day. I got nowhere to eat. There was a Burger King attached to a gas station. I ate there for a day. So if we got there, let's say Monday, it's Wednesday before somebody comes to get me. So I'm talking to Tony. I'm talking to this tight end for the Rams, this ex-tight end. I go, man, fuck this shit, man. We all got to be in this together. We got to go with Pierre Crockrell and let him know, right? So we're all like this, all for one, right? I get separated. They go play golf. I go do like radio for the comedy show.
For the show, right.
So I get back to the golf thing. First I go back to the hotel. Then I go to the golf thing. The Rams guys moved out. I go, oh. So I see him at the golf thing, right? At the clubhouse. And I go, yo, you told him we're going to the West? He goes, dude, I had to pay myself. I just paid for my own room. I go, fuck this. They said there were no rooms. I paid for myself. I go, damn. So now I'm talking shit. I'm on one talking shit to everybody at the golf thing, right? I'm talking shit about Olden, talking shit about Pierre Crockrell. And then I say, hey man, you said we were at the Westin. We're at the west end of the island. So he goes, he stands up in the middle of this fucking clubhouse and goes, hey man, I'm getting sick of you talking shit about me, right? And he's a tall dude. So he's like towering over me. And he goes, man, my name's Impeccable in Guam in LA. He goes, he basically said, I'll put a hit out on you. Keep talking shit about me. I go, well, I'm gonna tell the hitman, get all his money up front before he kills me. He better shoot me in the knees because you got a history of not paying everybody all their money. And that really set him on. Now he's like, motherfucker, like people were like acting like they're holding him back. I said, you're not about to fight me, dude. Let's be honest. We're in a golf clubhouse. You're not about to fight me. And then there was this Guamanian dude. He looked like he was like some karate expert. He would just stand there, and I'm literally looking at Pierre. I go, that's the motherfucker I'm worried about, because I wanted to let him know I see him. I was like, I'm not worried about you. That's the motherfucker I'm worried about. And when I looked at him, then he kind of backed up, but I could see he might have been that dude coming in, the world star hip hop moment. So I was on the next flight out. And I get back, and I'm back talking shit to Terence about Olden. Fuck Olden Polonice, sorry ass motherfucker. That's why he never got a ring and shit.
Oh no, but it wasn't Olden's fault.
So the Olden found out later, because me and Olden was bonding over those 2 days. Because Olden was at the comedy store every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. That's
so then Olden goes, I see him and I looked at him. And he goes, Olden gives me a big hug. Gee, I didn't know. He literally said,
he didn't know.
He told Pierre, where's Gary? And Pierre goes, oh, he was talking shit. So I sent him on the next flight out. And Olden's like, what? Olden had no idea. And this is where I found out Pierre was lying. The tight end for the Rams said, I bought my own room. Pierre said, man, I just spent my last bit of money putting him in a hotel. And when he pointed at the Rams dude, that's when I went off. I looked at him, I go, you motherfucker just lied to me.
Yeah,
he said he paid for it. You said you paid for it.
Like, fuck the white boy.
Right. and the black guy that's light skinned, Tony.
Tony, right. Yeah, the Creole dude.
Yeah. So Pierre ended up telling Olden bullshit.
So the brothers really did stick together.
Oh my God, yeah. Thank God. But we found out later Pierre was saving money because I guess he put whoever investors he got for that show, he told him this is what the rooms cost at the Westin. So the sponsors gave him this much money to get the rooms.
Right.
So he saved a couple dollars by putting the lower end celebs at the bullshit hotel. What got me was the no water. I might have let it slide, but I couldn't even get when I say I had to jump in the pool with shampoo that I got from the fucking gas station. The little bottles.
Yeah, that was foul.
So
Pryor was known to do some.
Oh,
Slick
he's
shit.
legendary over some shit. When I went to Alaska, I heard he ripped some people off in Alaska.
Damn, I don't think I went to
Seattle.
Alaska with him. Well, Seattle. I always got my money.
Well, I didn't.
But I think he was scared Joe was gonna whoop his ass.
Oh, really?
If I get my money, yeah, he was scared of it. Everybody was scared of Joe.
Yeah, Joe was intimidating back in the day.
Yeah, Joe was still intimidating, still a bully. But one of the biggest hearts you ever want to find, bigger than mine actually.
Joe Torry put me on my first legit paying gig, which was
at
Lincoln
University.
his homecoming.
I still got that picture.
Yeah, that was a dope picture we took that night.
Yeah.
Then it was
Wasn't Dan in with us too?
Dannon, Melanie Camacho, me,
Green.
you, and Joe. We had a comedy show the first night, and the next night was Changing Faces.
Right.
And they had, what was it? Do you mind if I stroke? I don't mind. And then they pulled somebody in the audience, and he was like, they should have got you, Gary.
right.
Because they used to grind on somebody on stage.
Then we went to a Ram game after that, right? St. Louis Ram game.
And Scarface performed that night,
Yep.
and Changing Faces. And then we went to the Rams game
In St. Louis.
And they were playing the Seahawks. I don't know why I remember that. And I had a Troy Aikman jersey on, and somebody said, why'd you bring Troy Aikman to the game? Because I look like him a lot.
Yep.
And that's where we met Tony Wiley,
Yep.
who later
Well,
became...
you met Tony Wiley.
That's when I met Tony Wiley.
I met Tony Wiley out
you're
here in L.A.
Yeah, you introduced me to Tony that night.
Yeah.
And me and Tony got friends, and Tony ended up being like the bigwig for the Houston Texans and the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Well, the Washington Football Club
Football
now.
Club.
Can't say it anymore.
Yeah. They just hired a black president, general manager.
They had to.
Yeah. They had to.
They had
Tony
to.
left. Tony left. Otherwise, that probably would have been Tony's job.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But Tony, went on to, I won't say, bigger things. I won't say, bigger and better things. Special Olympics, global.
Yeah. After you already said the R word on the podcast.
I know, I did.
You better apologize now.
Hey, sorry.
I'm telling you.
But I was saying no disrespect to.
Right. You were using it as you said that to somebody.
Yeah.
20-some years ago.
Yes.
You don't want to cross that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how mad it was. That was when we were politically incorrect.
You can say whatever you wanted back in the day.
Yeah.
If you look
now, I would never say it in this present tense.
Listen, if you look at Kings of Comedy and look at Bernie Mac's set of Kings of Comedy, he basically offended every group nowadays.
Yeah.
He got a TV show out of it.
Yeah.
He got a TV show out of that set.
Yeah. Bernie, that tour changed my career, man.
The Kings of Comedy tour?
Yeah, because number one, it taught me, and I say this all the time, I said it on the Steve Harvey show when we did the Kings of Comedy reunion. You know, DL joined the tour after I left. People think I got fired. I left the tour voluntarily for a couple of reasons. One, I'd done a whole year with these guys, man, and every night I would see these guys come out and rip. I was 6 years in the game at that point. I was still learning comedy. And they come out night after night, man, and fucking destroy.
What was the order?
Destroy. It was
back then.
It was me hosting, then it was Cedric, then it was Bernie, then it was Steve. And
following Bernie?
Yeah.
No, I don't envy that shit at all.
Bernie didn't want to follow Bernie. I'm telling you. So I learned, and I say this all the time, that I was just a comic, and they were comedians. And a lot of people don't know the difference. A comic says funny things. A comedian makes things funny. And I left the tour to get, because I hadn't played the club circuit like I'm doing, like I did, like the improv and funny balls. I wasn't in the circuit like that, building my act and learning how to be a real stand-up comedian. You know, just spots here and there around the country, but not like a whole 6-7 shows in a weekend. So I left the tour to do that. Then I ended up booking, the TV show, The Strip, which was paying me 30 grand a week. I mean, I went from 3 grand a week
Vegas,
to 30 grand a week. That's, hey. But yeah, so I left. But I left. I announced it on the Entertainment Tonight. I mean, a BET Tonight with Tavis Smiley. And they were like, you leaving the tour? I said, yeah, I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. So people think, oh, he got fired. No, I didn't get fired. Voluntarily left. I mean, he probably was stupid because they went and shot the movie after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you make decisions in life.
Make decisions, yeah. No, I'm not,
but
I don't look back.
You actually introduced me to Bernie in a roundabout way. Here's 2 funny Bernie Mac stories. One,
Bernie was the man. Rest in peace.
Your 30th birthday party.
Ooh.
There's pictures going around, and I kick myself to this day that I did not get in those pictures because
you're in some.
Barely, but I stepped out because I was like, it's not my time to be in these pictures. When I look back on it, it wasn't a big deal. But in my brain, I was like, I'm not supposed to be in here. Like, it was like, everybody, Martin was there. Eddie, there was fucking lawyers.
Chris Rock, Tommy Davidson, it was Steve Harvey, it was Bernie, it was Cedric. It was some names we can't mention because this whole podcast will get pulled.
Yeah.
In my career. Some other names in there that we will not mention. Yeah, man. Tony Terry, Carl Ganai, Shaq, Eddie Jones, you name it, man. Eddie Jones was a former Laker, NBA star. I mean, it was Polonese, of course.
Your 30th birthday party was, I just remember Joe was on stage.
Yep.
And I think I went up that night because you just had like, all the comedians go up that night.
I don't think I performed that night. I think
No, you just sat and watched.
I was in the booth with Bernie.
You sat in the middle booth.
Yeah, with Bernie.
But here's the funny thing. I don't know if you remember this. So Joe was on stage hosting, right? And Joe was like just doing what Joe does, going in on some audience members. Bernie got there a little late. Joe goes, who's this motherfucker walking in? And Bernie just went, watch yourself. And Joe literally just went, oh, shit, Bernie? I was like this. Everyone has that one. I'm going to leave this alone.
Yeah,
even Joe went. Joe, and back then,
Joe
was just
Torry.
so aggressive. You don't fuck with Joe Torry. He can bag on you. And all of a sudden, even Joe went, oh, Bernie? That's what I went. Oh, everybody's got that one. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bernie.
I'm going to leave this one alone. I just remember Bernie walked in. He had the shirt that matched the pants with the shoes. And just went, watch yourself. And you saw the whole crowd went, oh, fuck, was that Bernie's voice? And Joe, oh, shit, Bernie?
and we had just got done shooting Life. So I was on the Kings of Comedy tour. Bernie and I spent so much time together because during the week we were shooting Life. On the weekends we were doing Kings of Comedy.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, and Bernie just took me on his wing, and I just learned so much, man, camaraderie from all those guys, from Cedric and from Steve. DL joined the tour after I left, and DL did one date with us, though, because one city, I think, one of them couldn't do it. I think Bernie couldn't do it. I think maybe New Orleans. Bernie couldn't do it, so they had DL come in and do a guest spot for Bernie. Not a guest spot, he was actually on the show. And then, so when I left, and it made sense because DL had the show, the Hughleys on ABC at the time.
Right.
So it was like, yo, and they were definitely more kings than I was. I was 6 years in the game, still learning how to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you took me to go see Bernie at the Universal Amphitheater, which I don't know what it's called now. It's something else.
It's Gibson, I think.
Is it Gibson?
Yeah, Gibson.
Because Terence called and said, hey, guys, at that point, we were not living in your apartment. We had our own little apartment. And I remember Terence
live right down the street from it, though, right?
Right down the street, Universal Amphitheater. We was in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Terence goes, hey, guys, gonna come get us. We're gonna go to the Bernie Mac show tonight. And literally, I was like, okay, that quick. And I told this story on the Steve Harvey show. And you had to see it because you hit me up. But you got us backstage to see Bernie after the show. And I've never met Bernie. And I'm just an open mic type dude. So I never want to, and to this day, I don't like meeting people if they don't know my work. And somebody goes, hey, Gary, you want to meet this guy? I was like, not really, because you're going to say I'm a comedian, and then there's pressure.
Right.
I don't want to meet somebody until they know, they know my work, so to speak, in that manner. So I remember you introduced me to Bernie like, hey, Bernie, man, this is Gary, man. He's a funny dude. He's a up-and-coming comic type dude. I remember Bernie, he shook my hand. He had the firmest handshake I ever had from a comic. Yeah. He looked me dead in my eyes.
That's what he does, yep.
He went, nice meeting you, right? And I remember I sat down. Like I said, I told this story on Steve Harvey. And I just started watching The Room, right? And it was the who's who. It was, I think Chris Rock was there. I think Seinfeld walked in at one point. And I'm just in awe going, I'm eating these M&Ms in this little bowl. And I remember, I'm not going to say the comic's name. I'll tell you off air. There's a couple comics that got backstage that were being a little too rowdy and loud, and they were messing up the vibe in the room. They were like open micers like me. Okay. And I'll tell you later who they were.
Yeah.
Even if I said their name, nobody would know, but no reason to burn a bridge if you don't have to.
Right.
But I remember I was like, Bernie was getting like a little aggravated, and he called his bodyguard over and the security guys, and I remember, so Bernie's face is facing the camera, and the bodyguard this way, and I remember Bernie's ear going, and the bodyguard goes, mm-hmm. So they start just being polite, asking people to leave, right? And you were good because he knew you. And I was like, fuck. I remember thinking, fuck, am I going to get kicked out? And then I remember Bernie literally made eye contact with me, looked dead at me, and I went, ah, fuck. And I remember thinking, are these his M&Ms? That's all I remember thinking was, are these his fucking M&Ms? So I literally started doing this. I started putting them back. It's like a scene in a movie. It was slow motion, like his eyes locked in. I think I went.
And Bernie had that one eye that was.
Oh yeah.
So you.
I started putting him back in the boat, and I remember he just like let me go, like he made contact and moved on to somebody else. I go, oh fuck, I'm allowed to stay. And then it got back to a good vibe backstage. Right. But I remember thinking, that little moment backstage at his show was like, okay, fall back. You ain't always got to be the center of attention.
Right.
Because I was like this. I go, it wasn't my time to really get to know, and I wish I would have got to know him more, but he passed on.
Yeah, man.
But it was just, I remember thinking, okay, if I ever, when I run into him again, I can tell him this night, this story, and he'll remember it. Because I just remember thinking, are these his fucking M&Ms? Did I fuck up?
Bernie had that look of looking at you. It was kind of because you didn't want to look him in the eye when that one eye was going solo on you.
Yeah, it's weird how all you know, I'm talking about the three originals: Steve, Cedric, and Bernie.
Right.
It was. I mean, everybody knows the Steve and Bernie had their issues and everything, but just from outsider looking in, Cedric was always just bubbly.
Right.
Like you feel like you can just put your arm around Cedric immediately.
The teddy bear.
The big teddy bear, right? Right. Bernie was a guy you didn't want to fucking cross. For some reason, you're like this. I don't want to get on his bad side ever. Right. And Steve had more of an arm's length. Like you just even approach Steve. He doesn't. It's not like you just come in and be like, "What's up, Steve?"
Right.
You almost Steve. You gotta be like this. Get permission. Like, is it okay to say hi?
Right.
They all have different.
Very protective of his brand and him.
Exactly.
And himself.
Yeah. It was funny how all three. I was like this. These guys are so different.
They are
to be on tour together.
Yeah, but it worked. That chemistry worked, man.
Yeah.
And then when DL joined, it even took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, DL's kind of like, I always tell people about DL Hughley, they go, Gary, I don't know politics at all. So I always tell people, just go to DL Hughley's page. I kind of agree with 90% of the stuff he says.
Oh yeah, he's on top of that shit.
Now, it's funny, like when I met you, it was like you got ready to do Ride, which people looking back on it, it's kind of a funny cast. It's like Snoop, Malik Yoba,
Fred Joe Star, Sticky Fingers, Cedric, John Witherspoon.
Yeah. Cedric was there and John, yeah.
How'd you get Rage, Lady of Rage?
Oh, that's right.
D'Artagnan, Edmonds.
Oh, what an amazing script that was, right? How did that get not more acclaim?
No, you know what? I'll tell you how the movie was a good script. We fell into some unfortunate situations. Millicent Shelton, who's from St. Louis, black woman director. She was doing her first film because she was doing videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. We shot in Florida, in Jacksonville, like you said, and we shot during the rainy season. Mm-hmm. So the movie took most on a bus. Mm-hmm. So when we had to shoot a lot of days, it would be raining, and we start shooting, then we had to stop, had to reset, and some days we couldn't shoot, and it was the days that we were inside, like shooting set stuff, it would never rain. Every day we had to shoot outside, it would rain. And it was frustrating because, time is money. So we were losing days, and when you start losing days, you start eating up the budget, and, her script was getting cut, and it was tough for her. And then one of the actors, I won't say the name because I'm reading the 4 agreements and you're not supposed to, talk ill to anybody, but the star actor was giving her a lot of crap.
Oh.
Making it more frustrating, and he was hard to work with. Mm-hmm. So it was just a big stress ball, man. So what it was like a lot of frustration, a lot of cuts and stuff happened in the movie, even when we were shooting. And she had worked under Spike. She knew Spike, so she was doing some of the tricks that Spike used to do when they would tell him, oh, you got to cut this scene. And then you just, you kind of like, still shoot the scene, but call it something else.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spike. But yeah, that's what she was learning how to do too. It's like, okay, you got to cut scene 52, but you can shoot scene 42, right? So she, shoot scene 52, but call it 42,
right,
and still get her. Because when you're a director, you want to tell your story. You want every scene is important that you think is going to tell that story. So it was unfortunate she had to deal with that, especially when it's your first movie on a major level. It wasn't like for a streaming service or something like that. This is like going to the theaters first movie for a black woman. And that was huge.
Who was the white dude in that? There was a white dude in that movie.
Oh man, he was
tatted up.
We called him Casper. I forgot. Oh, his name was what was his name? Oh man, he has a biblical name too, but he was Jewish and never acted before.
Oh, really?
Ever. He was Millicent's like neighbor, and he was just a cool character. And she's like, I'm gonna put you in the movie.
Wow.
And she put him in, and he was mad cool, man. And
I remember he came to Fat Tuesday, and you introduced me. He was like, "Yo, he's in the movie.
Yeah,
he's in the movie with me."
And he used to always say every day, "God is real."
Yeah. Well, I just remember he was laughing his ass off at Fat Tuesday that
Isaiah,
night.
what was his? Oh, I forgot his name.
We can look it up. IMDb.
Yeah, it was Casper in the movie.
Hey, look, hold on.
You should know
hey,
me,
guys.
Right, get your team.
I got a whole team up here.
It's like ESPN.
Hey, let's research Ride. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll do it on my own phone.
Yeah, his character name was Casper.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do it on my own
Jewish
phone.
name. He was Jewish, and he
I'll do it
had a biblical
myself.
name. It wasn't Isaiah.
IMDb, really easy.
Yeah.
And
Ride.
hold on,
Cast.
I'm not gonna put in Ride. I'm just gonna put in Guy Torry.
You put in Ride, it probably come up quick.
No, I'll put in Guy Torry, and that way you get a click.
Got it.
See how that works?
Hey, see, I didn't
I'm
know.
here. I'm
I
here
didn't
to
know
help
that.
the guests out. I put Gut Torry. Sorry about that.
I do that sometimes too when I'm drunk and texting myself.
It's gonna. You know what? It's gonna come to you as soon as I find it.
I know, man. Yeah, he was good. He was good. Real good spirit too, man. But he was one of those guys, man.
I gotta scroll way back. In the 90s.
Yeah, that
Life,
was
American History X, good. Ride.
pre-teeth.
Let's look at this amazing cast of Ride.
Forget Luke. Let's not forget Luke and
yeah.
Downtown Julie Brown. Melissa D'Souza.
Melissa D'Souza.
She was great to
Fredro
work
Starr.
with.
Cedric the Entertainer. Sticky Fingers. Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. Yeah, yes, Kelly Williams from Family Matters.
Yep.
Yes.
Dallas De Leon. Remember Dallas
from
MTV?
Dallas Leon.
Guy
De Leon.
Ruben. That's him.
Ruben. That was his name. Ruben.
Is that a biblical name?
There's a Reuben sandwich in the Bible.
He had a biblical name. Reuben. Like this.
I knew he was Jewish.
That's his only fucking movie, bro.
Yeah, he wasn't an actor. And he didn't really pursue. He did it because Millicent put him in the movie. He did a great
Wow.
job. And
Reuben Asher.
Yes.
As cast. Didn't do another movie the rest of. He executive produced something. Some shorts, I
He
guess.
was a
Some
hustler.
documentary.
He knew how to make money.
Wow.
Trust me, he knew how to make money.
You don't see that a lot. One and done. Usually you
Right.
do a movie, the acting bug gets you, or
Right.
in his case, came at him so easy. Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, but he was making more money,
doing other things.
Doing other things.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So it was like,
I know a couple people like that.
yeah, he's making more money doing other things. He was like, it takes too long to make this money.
Hold on.
With 3 months to make this?
Residuals take how long?
Yeah.
What's the smallest residual check you've ever seen?
Oh shit, a penny. I think one was maybe maybe a penny.
Isn't that crazy?
A penny. And I still deposited that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. You always deposit residuals.
You wait till you get more.
Yeah.
You know.
What I get, like when I did House of Pain, I'll get I did like 10 episodes, and I'll get them all at once, all 10.
Okay.
But once you open up one, they're all kind of the same amount.
Right.
And then you'll be like, I'm really working hard. To
Hey,
open these
sometimes,
episodes.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, sometimes, like when you do something, a small role or something like, well, there's no small role, whatever, you know what I mean, TV something, and you get like a stack of them. It'd be a stack of residual checks, and you be like, oh shit, and be $2.25, 25 cents.
Yeah.
And you open it up and 10 cents. You're like, God, if you got this many, and they're all like under $10.
And then you be adding up, you're like, I just made $380, and now I have paper cuts.
Right.
Out the
Yeah,
ass.
exactly.
Open
But
up
I'm
all the
telling you,
residuals.
dude, I remember one time, one came in handy, man. It was during the writer's strike. And I was married at the time. His writer's strike happened, so Hollywood was shut down. I had no road dates because I had told my agent, hey, I want to, spend more time at home, spend time getting to know my wife, because we was long distance relationship. So now we're married. So I'm gonna stay home more. I'll just book a movie, TV show. Good, no problem. And so I had no road dates on the books, and Hollywood shut down for the writer's strike. So there was nothing happening. And I was like, man, I was going through, and I just bought my new house, and it was like, whoa, them residual checks saved the day. I was like a crackhead looking for the box that big. This is when the envelopes were big.
Yeah.
And I was just, every day I was going to the mailbox like Color Purple, like looking for that fucking
more
mail.
letters come?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm telling you, and then one came in from Life that was like
Had a
5
comma.
figures.
Had a comma.
No,
yeah.
man. Yeah, 5 figures. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So
But you ever think like some of the checks I've gotten for the bigger movies I've done, I'd be thinking like okay, for example, like I've guest hosted, and I don't know if you know that, I've guest hosted Maury Povich quite a bit, right?
I didn't know that.
So I've gotten residual checks from Maury, and I was like this. I go, if I'm getting 3, Maury's getting 3,000 of these. Hold on, and he's getting executive producer and everything
Right.
else, and I'd be like this. Damn, he's getting 3. Right, he's done 3,000, 4,000 episodes.
Damn.
So he's getting all those residuals
All those
coming
residual
in,
checks.
even when he's
'Cause
off.
that
It's
show is
still
syndicated
airing.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like this.
Syndication is the thing, man.
Man,
Especially if you high on that call sheet.
well, if you look at TV, if you always look at the highest paid people, it's not sitcoms.
Right.
It's the judges and the
Right,
talk
those
shows.
judge
that
shows,
date them.
yeah, because they're syndicated in so many markets.
Yeah.
And they run and they run and they run. Every city I'm in, you turn on the TV, it's one of those damn
Always
judge
on.
shows.
Always on. Those are
Yeah.
always. It ain't. People think it's like.
That's why Byron Allen's so rich.
Think about it. Or Judge Judy. She's
Judge
always
Judy.
consistently one of the
Yeah.
highest paid people
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
People think it's like the sitcom people and stuff.
Hell
I think
no.
we're at a stage where the sitcoms are slowly going away as far as like network.
Right, yeah, network. I think, you
Because-
know what, but Netflix is starting, a lot of these streaming services are starting to do sitcoms.
Well, you can push the envelope
Yeah.
on there.
Right.
Whereas like
Right.
like you were saying, you worked on Martin, and back in 80s, 90s, and even the 70s, we all know our favorite Martin episode, our favorite Fresh Prince episode, our
Right.
favorite Different Strokes episode.
Right.
Nowadays,
Fresh Prince.
you can't tell people what's your favorite sitcom. One, it takes you a minute to think about it.
Right.
We were coming, you're like this. You was a Martin guy. You was a Fresh Prince guy.
Yep.
Type deal.
Jamie
you was a
guy.
Seinfeld guy.
Yeah.
And you always knew your favorite episode. Nowadays, you're like this. It takes you a minute to remember your favorite sitcom,
Right.
and you don't have a favorite episode. It's not
It's
there
different.
anymore like
Well,
that.
You got to realize, when you had back then, it was only like really 4 major networks.
Mm-hmm.
It was ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox at that time.
Mm-hmm.
UPN and W hadn't really come along that yet. They were on, they're budding. So you got to realize there's like 13 or 14 writers per show. So you're getting the best of the best. You're getting out of that 13, 14 writers, you got really 8 or 9 really good writers.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Really good writers. So those of you who don't know the process, everybody's assigned 2 scripts or 1 script this season. So you go off and you write your script on your own, then it comes back to the room and they table it, which means everybody reads it. So now you got 12 different writers pitching jokes on your structure or pitching ideas on the structure and on the jokes. And out of that, you had 8 good ones. So you got 8 really good ideas and funny shit. Now, there's so many different networks, so many different streaming services. All the good writers are all spread out now. So you don't have a collective group of great minds coming together. It's very rare. Some sitcoms can manage to still do it, but you don't have 8 solid writers. You may have maybe 1 that's really like a genius.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2, rather than having 8 or 9 or 10 genius ideas being pitched on that sitcom. So what it does is, it's funny, but it ain't, Martin funny or Jamie
Yeah.
funny or Cosby Show funny or Taxi funny or Seinfeld funny. It's not as funny as those shows back in the day because you had a collective of great minds coming together writing. So when you see one now, somebody really did a great job in making sure the writing was tight and the writing staff was really, really good.
Yeah. 'Cause I didn't think about that. I forgot how good Homeboys in Outer Space was. The writing on that was sick. Wow.
The writing on that show, and without trying to burn any bridges, was more like sandlot football. Just draw the play up on shoot day.
There wasn't a right.
I go by the red car,
Yeah.
and you do a post.
What would you say if he hit
blue
you?
Car, do a flag. Yeah, what would you say? Okay, all right. Pictures
Let's go
up.
with that.
Quiet on the round.
Take 2. Take 2. We don't take
Wait,
2.
we're doing film. Let's do TV now. All right, we did mix the genres.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they did too.
Yeah. That's one of them shows you're like this. You didn't get hired? Hold on, can you imagine auditioning for that?
I did audition for it.
For the lead or writer?
No, I auditioned as an actor.
Oh, wow.
And when I didn't get it, I was like, I was kind of bummed, because you want to book everything. Mm-hmm. But I was like, when I saw it, I was like, ooh, thank you, Jesus.
Well, it's one of those things, like, it didn't hurt anybody's career. It's not like somebody said, you're not doing it again because you did Homeboys in Outer Space.
Can you imagine the actors who was on great sitcoms and then did that? Like, he's just taking.
God, don't fuck up the set. Hey, Carrot Top.
No, I need a prop.
I would have gave you a chord.
Improv.
That's all right.
Improv.
That's all right.
Improv.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out.
Let's talk about improv.
What are you talking about?
Remember Fat Tuesdays?
Your improv comedy show?
And you did a sketch.
I did. Because you had a improv
called
comedy
PCP,
group.
the Fat Comedy Players. PCP was a improv troupe I created because I wanted the actors to show, I wanted the comedians to show their acting side. Mm-hmm. And there were some actresses who was like, God, how can I showcase? They weren't comics. I said, well, if you've got a good improv skills, we'll put you on this group. So that was my whole thing behind doing PCP, the sketch group. And you came and did a sketch for us. Yeah,
I played a militant white dude. I was basically playing, I was doing the opposite of Chappelle before Chappelle. I was playing the Muslim white dude.
Yeah.
The militant guy.
Yeah.
I was before, what was it, Clayton Bigsby?
Clayton Bigsby, yeah.
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 Now, Chappelle, he went up at Fat Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, Chappelle would go up, man, and drop in at Fat Tuesdays.
That's the first time I saw Cat, when he was Cat in the Hat.
Man, Cat. I mean, those guys, man, really, really, really helped Fat Tuesdays a lot, man, because they would just drop in. The audience.
They weren't even famous then.
Yeah, right. They're on their way. Dave had a household name.
And mainstream.
Mainstream name. And Cat was, was going up, but the fact that they would just blow that shit up was like my advertising. Because there was no social media. I had no advertising budget. I made the flyers myself for the first couple of years. It was word of mouth. So you got word of mouth, you got, Chappelle was there last week, or Eddie Murphy was in the audience. Richard Pryor came a couple of times.
That's where I met Richard.
I know, I'm saying.
Do you remember that story about Richard?
Yes.
Me and Richard, we almost got kicked out.
I don't know that story.
Oh, say Richard's in the audience.
You want to say that for the documentary? No, it's your podcast. Go ahead.
No, it's great. Richard, I'll do it for the documentary too. Richard's in the audience, and everybody's like, no pitches. You were telling the comics, no pitches, man. He's hanging out. I get on stage, I get off stage, and I'm like, his assistant or somebody comes and goes, hey, Richard wants to say hi to you. I go, okay. So he sits down, and we chat up, and they got a picture. And Ed Weinberg was in the picture.
Yeah, Ed Weinberger. Yeah.
So Ed Weinberg, Richard Pryor, me are in the picture together, right? So I take the picture, and I looked at him. I go, can I get one with my camera? And he goes, yeah, of course. So this is before cell phones.
Right.
I run out to my pickup truck. I always had a camera in the back seat when I went to Fat Tuesdays in case somebody showed up. I got my camera. I come back to get a picture, and then one of the security guys goes, we said no pictures. And he starts to grab it, and I go, no, he asked me. And then Richard was like, yeah, he's fine. So we take the picture, and literally he gets in my ear. This is a funny ass story. He goes, hey, don't ever change. Don't ever change. I was like this. I go, all right, I've been like blessed by the comedy God. I'm gonna keep telling jokes like I'm telling, and then that's it, right? Why the fuck am I watching Oprah Winfrey probably 8 years later? Monique's on Oprah. Oprah goes to Monique and goes, when did you know? When did you know you had it? She goes, well, Richard Pryor was in the audience one night, and I got off stage, and he pulled me to the side and whispered in my ear, don't change. Don't ever change. I went, wait a minute. That was my fucking Oprah story. And literally, I was like this. Was Richard just going around telling everybody the same shit?
Not everybody, because he told me the same thing, but I was talking about New Camacho as well. So, but funny people.
That was
funny people.
Man, I thought that was maybe his way of just fucking with people too. Like, I'm gonna fuck up their career. I'm gonna tell everybody, and they're not gonna change, knowing their shit sucks. And they're gonna be like this. No, but Richard said don't change.
That was man. Seeing Rich, that was I think the most nervous I've ever been on stage.
When Richard was in the audience?
Performing in front of Richard Pryor. And he came a couple of times.
Yeah.
And every time I was just nervous because that's like, and then Eddie too. You have an Eddie in the audience too, man. It's like.
Well, you focus on him like when someone like Richard or Eddie is in the audience. And the comedy store can get pretty dark. Like you can't see past the first couple rows sometimes. Right. For some reason, when you know someone's in the audience, your eye line might be over here, but you're
Right.
always looking to see if they're
So
laughing.
they're laughing, exactly,
Oh my God.
exactly,
You can get them to laugh. But
like-
you know, when I did Daddy Daycare, like Eddie, he didn't come to the table read. He didn't come to rehearsal. He didn't have to, obviously. And then when he came around the corner first time we shot, and I'm in that big ass carrot outfit.
Right.
And action. He comes around. We're supposed to be seeing. He just stops. Hey man, what's up? And you know, it's because he seen me at Fat Tuesday.
Right.
And he told me one of the jokes I told at Fat Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't he saw it on TV? Like, he saw it at Fat Tuesday. What's up, man? That was a funny joke. Da-da-da. And I was like this. Oh, it was one of those moments where
Yeah, like-
I'm on set going, oh, fuck. He knows me. And
Yeah.
like, honestly, it gave me more respect with the camera guys and grips and producers because they
Yeah.
literally looked at me like, oh, fuck. I'm not lying to you. It's not like I was only on set 3 days, but it wasn't like a hostile set. I don't want to get that across at all. It was just the energy shifted
Right.
towards me when they were like, oh fuck, Eddie. I
Right.
felt
He
like
put
Eddie
his
went
hand
back
on
with
you.
this dude.
Yeah.
Because they were like, obviously no pictures of Eddie.
Right.
None of this stuff. Don't be acting fanning out because it was his first day on set. My first day shooting with him was the first day.
Oh, really?
Of I guess that
production.
location, and I don't
Of
know if they had a
filming.
So
Damn.
it was like they were giving rules when Eddie comes around. I
Right.
go, wow, there's levels to this shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that happened, and I remember just everyone started acting a little different towards me. Like,
Right.
oh wait a minute.
It's Hollywood.
And then here's what's funny: at the premiere, and I don't want to throw any other comics under the bus, but we was at the premiere for Daddy Daycare, and there's this. I didn't get a picture with Eddie on set because you just don't do that. You don't like, hey, let me get a picture with my big carrot broccoli outfit, right?
It was no camera for this. Today is a little different, but back then you're right.
You really had to pull him aside.
Right.
And then we go to the premiere, and there's a line. We're at the Daddy Daycare premiere, and they blocked off this entire block and made it like a festival, you know?
Right.
And that's when I realized,
Kid-friendly.
this is a big movie. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how big it was when I shot it. And even though my part wasn't
Great
huge,
movie,
it was,
too. I love that movie.
it stuck out, the carrot and the broccoli dancing and
Right.
everything. So there's a line to take pictures with Eddie. So it's just a long-ass line. And I'm in line with Kenya, my wife. I'm next. I am fucking next. And I know I can see Eddie make eye contact with me, so I know I'm in a good space with him,
Right.
right? Because he gave me like a head nod. There's a comedian who had nothing to do with the fucking movie. He was one of those guys, you always know those guys in LA that just show up at the premieres. Like, how the fuck you keep getting in? There's always those people like,
Always
how are
those
you at
guys.
this party? He goes up and he grabbed this fucking guy. For one, he grabbed Eddie. Don't fucking grab him. So now he's got him in one of them hugs, right? And I can see him in his
Right.
ear.
Proud
and
of you, man.
He's
Proud of you,
saying
man.
shit like, you inspire me. Eddie's face just went, like, everything just turned. And I went like this. I told Kenny, go, we're out. I got out of line.
Why
I go,
you should have just stayed there,
fuck that.
man?
I go, I'm not going next. He literally, I saw him be like,
The life just left.
He literally like, this motherfucker just touched me and grabbed me and feel me up and shit. I was like, I looked at Kenny and go, we're out. We got a line because I go, I didn't want to be the next guy. And he's like pissed. And I was really
Not
going
guy
to tell
Torry,
him.
but the next guy.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the
Lowercase
next
G.
person.
Okay, lowercase
Because
G.
I was, I was probably just going to be like, oh, it was awesome to work with you. It's a dream come
Right.
true type shit. Quick and easy. I know how to handle myself.
Right, yeah.
I was so fucking pissed. I didn't get a picture with him.
You gotta
I don't
tell
think
me
I have a
off air
picture
who
with
that
Eddie yet.
was, man.
Huh?
You gotta tell me off air who that was, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
He's a lovable guy, if that helps.
I gotta know who that was.
I'll tell you off there. We
Yeah,
ain't got a lot
please
of
do.
time left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hell, we threw Pierre
Eddie-
Crocker
but-
under the
but-
bus.
but
Let's just
Eddie-
keep going. I'm just kidding.
Eddie is that guy, man. Where on set he was set a precedence, man. But like I said, on life he made sure everybody was cool. But he used to come to the set the next day on a Wednesday and hear about what went on at Fat Tuesdays if he wasn't there the night before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, I heard you tore into a motherfucker's ass last night, man."
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow. He has one of his guys that works on his team is Fedorov. And Fedorov used to always come to Fat Tuesdays. And I think he was the one who used to tell Eddie what went on the night before and who went on, who ripped, who didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knew. His ear was always to the street.
And I heard that about him even before we met and worked together. I heard like, yo, Eddie knows everybody.
Yes,
he
he
knows
does.
all the comics out there.
Eddie Murphy.
You might not know, but he still knows.
Yeah.
Do you want to see him go back on the road?
I do, man. It's funny because I remember when we were shooting Life, we asked him back then, would you ever go do stand-up again? And this is 98. And he was like, he said, that's like Jordan going back to play high school basketball. Why? Like, damn.
Now, you know.
But he used to give us a lot of advice, though, because I was asking him, you know, I mean, I'm around Eddie Murphy. I'm going to try to get some, you know, some comedy advice. And I asked him what made him cross over, what made him mainstream. And he was like, you know, there was no Def Jam back then. There was no BET. It was just you had to be funny. I was like, okay, fair enough. But he was telling me some other stuff, too, about Raw and how the uncut version of Raw was in rawer than what you saw.
Wow.
And how he didn't, some scenes didn't make it in because it was kind of like how we don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
He cut certain stuff out.
See, to me, Eddie, and from my era, Eddie's the GOAT. When people ask me who's your favorite, I say Bernie because I saw him live. Right. If you ask me who I saw live, that I was like, whoa, it was Bernie Mac at that show at the Universal Amphitheater.
Yeah.
But as far as like coming up, Pryor was a little bit before my time. But, you know, like I always say, like your 40s is your Jedi years for stand-up because you're not super old that you're out the loop, but you're also got enough life experience. Like your stand-up should be in the pocket.
Right.
You should have your voice by your 40s.
Right.
The fact that Eddie did Raw and Delirious in his early 20s is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And the closing bit of Raw was, it's about his mother cooking a fucking hamburger.
Right.
With peppers and a big skillet.
Big peppers and
Hold on.
green peppers.
That's his closer. And people don't realize in stand-up, your closer is usually a dick pussy joke or a political joke. It's rare. I owe most of my Raw shit to the end of my show because once you get people's mind in the gutter, they're in the gutter.
Yeah.
You can't get it out. You know. Sometimes
you can. It's just you got to know how to get it out, and that's one thing I learned. Because sometimes I'll set myself up to fail so I can win, and I learned that because I had a writer's block one time. 2 different times I had different writer's block. One time I called Jamie. Jamie had just gotten back from shooting Ali. And he was like, man, talk about that Hollywood shit, man. People want to know about the behind the scenes, what goes on the set, the movie set, and all that stuff. I was like, wow, I never did that in my life. I always kept it separate. And then another time I had a writer's block, I ran to Tommy Davidson. Right on the corner, I remember where it was. Remember Good Guys, the electronics store?
Yeah.
It was right on the corner of Ventura and Lower Canyon. I was coming out, and he was going in. And I was like, man, I have a writer's block, man. Joe got mad at me when I told this story because Joe was, how can you just call me?
Hold on. How about I'm Tommy? I don't give a fuck. Worry about my own career. I don't want to hear about your drama.
I know, right?
That's really what Tommy's thinking.
But Tommy was like, man, start opening with your closers.
I heard that from Louis C.K.
He said,
Louis
start opening with
thing.
your closers, and he said it'll make the rest of your jokes that much stronger. So my closers were, sex jokes. So I started opening with them. But what it did was it did make my other jokes stronger because it made me really get the audience minds out of that gutter to bring them back around to my stuff and then end up back in the bed.
But for like novice, like comedy watchers, to see a special, and specials usually you've been on the road, you've been working that bit out.
I want to go back and look at that special.
It's a year or two. It's not... People drop a special, that's not 3 weeks in the making. Right. That's work they put in to make it tight.
I did Ruben Paul's podcast a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about all the work that people don't see, what goes into it. And what popped in my head at that moment was, we're pretty bitches. We're pretty bitches.
Got a lot to...
Women, and not to disrespect women, just staying at the term with you, women go through a lot to look good for us. Rather than sitting in a salon for 8 or 9 hours, rather than going to the gym if they go to the gym, putting on that spandex or diet or whatever, but then they spend all those hours in the makeup, contouring the nose and all this stuff. And all we see is, oh, it's a fine bitch. Oh, it's a pretty bitch. That's all. We don't see everything she put into it.
Yeah.
And that's what we are as comedians. They don't see the nights of bad shows. They don't see the drug dealer promoters we have to deal with sometimes. They don't see the traveling, going through TSA. Even now with COVID, they don't see us putting our life on the line, traveling, flying to go make people laugh. They don't see leaving our family. And I'm not crying at all because we signed up for it. So, but they don't see that. They see the finished product. They see the pretty bitch. But they don't see all the stuff that came with it. The failed relationships, the failed marriages, the disconnect between, parent and kids, whether you're a mom or doing stand-up or a guy doing stand-up, a father and a son or a daughter. They don't see all that.
It's not the most stable lifestyle, put it that way.
It's not.
You got to work at it.
Yeah.
To keep a relationship and to make sure you're still in your kids' lives like a 9-to-5 dad. Right. It's tough, man.
We get judged like that sometimes, but we're not 9-to-5 people. We're not regular. It's not regular.
Here's the thing that people don't understand. If you're a stand-up comedian at the core, the politically correct answer is, faith, family, then stand up. And you got to realize, I'm not a good dad or a good husband without stand up, because it just makes me happy, and I'm miserable without it.
Yeah.
So as long as I know I could have a date, even with the COVID when we got shut down, nobody went on the road for 3-4 months. I knew eventually I'd be back on the road.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I'm done.
Right.
I can't do this anymore. I'm like this. And, even when you say back on the road after COVID, I go, yeah, we're, risking our lives, or, we're going into comedy clubs, and my agent called me and said, hey, has anybody called you and gave you a guilt trip about going back on the road? I said, what? He goes, there's comics, I guess, calling other comics saying, hey, man, you're putting people's lives at danger and you're being selfish and stuff. And I literally told my agent, I go, oh, no, I'm a black comic. I go, I think the white comics are calling each other.
We calling each other like, hey, man, hey, put my name in.
Get your money, motherfucker.
Get your money. But here's the thing. I dealt with doing that to myself. Like, should I be going back out? Should I be putting my life on the line? And then I was in Kansas City at the Improv, and I was going back and forth with a guy in the audience, friendly banter, and he told me he was in hospice. Like, he was day to day. Doctor told him he could die any day, and one of his wishes was that he wanted to come to a live comedy show before he passed away.
Wow.
And I was like, at that moment, I was like, you know what? It's not about me. It's like, if I was able to give him, his last bit of laughter before he checked out, and it was crazy too, because it was like 15 minutes into the show, and he said it so loud, when you're on stage, you get that, and in your head, you're like, how the fuck am I gonna get out of this? How the hell am I gonna get out?
Well, that's a comedic comedy. You just address it. Right. Great, asshole. Right. Now that's it. No matter what I tell, the only thing I remember is there's a guy from hospice.
Right.
Who wanted to see a comedy show.
You attack it.
Was guy funny? I don't fucking remember. Who gives a fuck about his jokes, man? There was a moment.
So I went in, and you got to find those moments when you're on stage right away to bring the audience back. And I had 45, 50 minutes left in my set. So I was like, fuck. And I went in, I just said, damn, man. I was like, that was me, man. I'd be fucking everything raw. I wouldn't care if I caught anything.
I got saved. God's going to forgive me for this one.
Yeah, I'll just go and I'll be running in women raw, just fucking everything that moved. I said, I'll go slap Trump. I said, they're going to shoot me, but I'm going to die anyway. Hell, what cares? So
the bad part is they probably find a cure the day after.
Right.
I always tell my family, don't pull that goddamn plug. Don't pull that plug. The day you pull the plug, the next day, guess what we found? The formula. What the fuck?
They hold it up like an outfielder when he catches it.
Don't fucking pull the plug. I don't care what my quality of life is. If I got this shit in my throat and I'm in the wheelchair and I'm sitting, can't do shit, I'm like, don't fucking pull that plug. I'll be like this.
But do you want to live your life like that?
Tomorrow, hold on. Tomorrow they find the shit to fill the damn tracheotomy. They find a way to make your dick work. That's all it is. Can you get my dick to work? Just one more time.
That should be a name of one of your specials. Don't pull the plug.
Don't pull the plug.
You should write a whole set on don't pull the plug.
Maybe. Well, the next special is going to be called Black Famous. Because that's what I am.
Yeah.
And it just happened. Here's what's crazy. It just happened at the airport. So I always talk about, in my act now, I like being black famous because I love seeing black people in customer service jobs. Because when black people know you and they like you, motherfuckers hook you up.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't give a fuck about the rules.
At the airport.
Oh, rent a car, hotel,
I'm
restaurants.
upgrade you for free. I'm going to upgrade you.
Well, let me tell you what happened. So me and Kenya's flying together, and she's in first. I'm in economy comfort, right? I was like, how the fuck that happened? Anyways, Delta, there's no middle seats, not a big deal, right? I don't want to get anybody fired, but we had a layover. The first city we go to, black guy sees me and her. I say, hey, I know, can only have half of first and everything. He goes, all right. He literally goes, brings me as we're at the gate, gives me my upgrade and goes like this. He goes, don't get my ass fired for this. I was like this, no problem, right?
Right.
So I go, and then I go, okay, so now we're in Atlanta. And I go, blackest city out there, right? I told Kenny, just gotta find a black person. Now get upgraded. Gotta find either a ticket agent, flight attendant.
Somebody.
We get the whitest goddamn flight on the plane. I was like this. When I tell you, not only do they say no, they give you a fucking 5-minute reason why. No, the rules is this and this and like this. I want to be like, bitch, we just did it. Hold on. How about we ask all the passengers, are you cool? Because if I go up the first, that means somebody else can take my economy comfort seat, right? So literally, and I was first, Kenya wasn't, but I told her to take
Yeah,
first.
you as
You
a
know.
gentleman should.
So I was like this, you
Absolutely.
take first. And Kenya's always like, well, I'll sit back with you. I said, why? I go,
Yeah.
the middle's open. I'm good.
Take the free liquor.
Yeah. Well, now you don't get shit hardly on the planes.
Shit, the
Beer and
American-
wine.
No,
Oh, Delta just beer, wine, and water.
no, I fly American.
Oh, I fly Delta
And
more than
I ain't
anybody
gonna
else.
lie, I hate that COVID happened, and I hate that people lost businesses, lives, and wages and all that stuff. I lost wages too. But every time I've flown, and I've flown a lot since it's COVID, I've been upgraded every time.
Oh, wow.
Like 1,000%. And I don't want to jinx that. Please upgrade, guys. Keep it going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, it's been fun.
Well, the reason Kenya
Sounds selfish, but I know. But hey,
Well, we bought our tickets
Comedy.
together, but we bought them separate because, dude, when I tell you, it was like, I'm not lying, $64 coach round trip, and first was way more than that.
Yeah.
So I told Kenya, I said,
You're smart.
you buy the first. I go, I'll get coach because I got a better shot of getting upgraded
right,
because I'm diamond on Delta.
right.
So that's why we did that way. So she had the first, and she was quick. You want me? I said no. I'll just stay back. It's no
But
big deal.
that makes sense though.
Yeah, dude. Like, when you see a $64 round trip ticket, and you know there's
Yeah.
no middle seat.
Yeah.
I was like this. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. And the minute I bought it, I was upgraded economy comfort, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
they went. But when I just remember thinking, come on, black people, come on, black people. It was
Man.
like whiter, and then the flight. Everybody had to give us the longest reason why. Kenya, I said, you go on first. If it's a black flight attendant, we're good.
Right.
And Kenya texts me, he goes, white. And I go, fuck.
White. And that's rare going on Delta in Atlanta because all those flight attendants be fine
Man,
and black.
I was like this. I go.
Black women be,
I told
ooh.
her, I go, Karen White or just white? My wife said definitely not Karen, but white. And then I got
immediately
on.
went to the singer, Can't White.
Oh no! And then when I got on, the lady's still talking to Kenya in the loudest voice I ever heard. Well, we're 50%, and we got couples, and I was like this.
Yeah.
I was like this. I said, did you whisper to her?
Yeah,
She goes,
yeah.
she gave me the loudest explanation. I was like, it can't be done.
Sometimes, it's getting recognized. Sometimes you don't want to get recognized. Like I was on a flight one time, and I forgot what movie I was in. I think it was Runaway Jury. It was on, and I was in coach, and the movie I was in was on, and I'm sitting there hoping nobody sees me because it's like I'm in the fucking movie, and I saw some people like look at the movie, and they go, and look back like I was like, I'm sitting there like, fuck, man. There's one time I didn't want to get noticed was this motherfucking time. I'm fucking sitting in coach, and the movie I'm in is on the fucking screen. Like, God damn it.
Kenya always says that too when I'm on a flight. She goes, hey, so where are they flying? If I see another actor, celebrity, rapper, or anything, where are they flying? They in first? I go, yeah, they're in first. I'll be like, they're in coach.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
man, I was on a flight when I went to Cuba last year, man. I was coming out from Cuba, Miami, and Rick Ross was in coach.
Well, here's the thing.
I was like, what?
Well, if you, like, I'll give an
I
example.
think he had to fly last minute, and he just needed to
That's
be on
the
that
thing.
flight.
People, they don't realize, and plus they think, why are you flying coach? Let me tell you
Why
something.
you flying commercial? First of all, why you flying commercial,
Oh,
Rick?
first of all, I see a $64 round trip flight.
I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
probably gonna take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just a free flight to
Yeah.
me. And
Pretty
then
much.
two, like I was on a flight and Wayne Gretzky was on the flight.
Oh, wow.
In the back of the plane.
Wow.
And I was like, and then I remember I asked somebody, I said, I saw Wayne Gretzky. I go, damn, motherfucker's in the back. They go, yo, he's notorious. And I don't know if they knew what
Really?
they were talking about, but he always says, it's my money. I spend it how I want.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's but I've gotten flights. I got, it was funny. I was flying to Vegas one time from Cincy, and I got there. That's the only time I missed a flight, completely my fault. Because I got there, and it literally, I thought the lady was kidding. Because I had a bag. She goes, oh, if you have a bag, you can't get on. I go, what do you mean?
yeah,
It's like
fast-
45
yeah.
minutes. When I say it was 44, I go, it's
Damn.
like 44. She goes, they don't play. They cut off at 45 no matter what. I go, you're lying to me. I thought she was kidding.
Right.
Couldn't get on the flight. I got a flight that night. I got a show that night in Vegas. I was like, I got to make the flight. I got to find a way to get there, right? Only flight was Frontier.
Oh.
So I'm on Frontier, right? The black flight attendant, this is what's great about black people. Black flight attendant sees me on.
That's the only thing great about black people?
Huh? No, there's,
That's the one thing great about black people.
everything else is awful. Fucked up the NBA. It's all fun behind the back and shit and dunking. Who wants to see that bullshit? Quarterbacks run over the fucking field. Drop back and pass. Let's not get into boxing. No, I'm just kidding.
So you're on the Frontier
So I'm
flight.
on Frontier, Black flight attendant literally goes like this. Why are you on this flight? Loud. I went like this. I went, I missed the United flight, so this one's gonna be into Vegas. So then she goes, come in the back. So she's got her bags in the very back row. She moved them, sat me in that back row, so I didn't have nobody next to me, right? She goes, this is up for us. She goes, I'm gonna give you this row. I give you the whole row. Then she gives me like the biggest bottle of water and this big thing of M&Ms and chips. I go,
like you?
And I was like this, what is this? She goes, I don't want you talking bad about our airlines. So because Frontier, you gotta buy everything. I didn't know this. I think it's the only time I've flown Frontier in my life. I go, what is this?
I've flown a few times.
I saw them. They charge for water. I was like, they're charging for water?
Damn.
Who does that?
I don't remember.
They were charging for water. And it was it was a big thing of water too. And she was like, here. I was like, what's all this? She goes, I don't talk about the airlines. She goes, this is on us.
I like when they hook me up with the liquor. Like they come give me a whole bunch. One time when the flight attendant gave me a whole bottle of wine, I was like, yes. One time I was on a flight a couple years ago. And I'm telling you, it was almost the end of Russell Westbrook and Amber Rose.
I didn't even know they were together.
They weren't. They were on my flight.
Oh.
Like, I was flying.
I thought you meant they were together. Right. I was like, I didn't know they were together.
I was coming back to LA and I had to fly through Miami. And I'm in the airport. I get upgraded to first. So Amber Rose is on my flight. Russell Westbrook's on my flight. And, I'm in first. And then our plane breaks down.
In the air?
No. Before we even land, and before we even take off, our plane breaks down. So we got to get out the flight. They got to rebook us. The next flight is 4 hours later, right? I lost my upgrade. So now I'm in fucking coach.
It's the worst.
I'm in fucking coach in a middle seat on a bigger plane. Like, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So now I'm sitting in the terminal. I'm hot. Out of the corner of my eye, I see this chick. I'm like, oh shit, that's my ex-wife.
Amber
Monica.
Rose. Oh.
No, it's Monica.
Oh, I thought you meant Amber Rose. You're kidding.
No, it's Monica.
Oh, wow.
My ex-wife. My real ex. So now I'm like, fuck. And I know she's going back to L.A., and I was trying to avoid her, but somehow we bumped into each other. And she's, come meet, Bozzy, my new husband. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to meet this dude. So I'm walking, and we go to meet him, and she married up.
Oh, for real?
This motherfucker's 6'7".
Oh, wow. Well, it's not hard to marry up from you guys.
So
like,
she married.
5'10" is marrying up.
She married up. So, we go, cool guy. He hugged me a little bit too long.
Monica clearly doesn't have a type.
Exactly. So we cool. We talk. And now I'm like, oh, fuck. He, dude got money, And I'm like, fuck, I know we're gonna be on the same flight. If I have to walk past them in first to go back to coach, I'm crashing this motherfucking plane. This whole plane coming the fuck down. No more Amber Rose, no more fucking Russell Westbrook. I'm crashing this whole motherfucking plane. I'd be damned if I walk past them like Fred Flintstone and shrink as I'm going back to my middle coach seat. And thank God it was on a flight that left 2 hours before my flight. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. You just saved Amber Rose and Russell goddamn Westbrook. Because I was going to crash this. Nobody's going to live to tell this motherfucking story ever. That's how much pride I had. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
I literally thought you meant Russell Westbrook and Amber Rose were together. I was
no,
like,
they weren't.
They were together?
No, they
I don't remember that at all.
No. They were at a wedding. All of them was attending a wedding together. In Miami of I think an NFL player or NBA player, one of them. But
okay.
My ex's husband does, what Reggie J does. He does the suits and everything, yeah. And he was doing that, so that's why they were all they're all in Miami at the same time.
Okay.
But I was like, fuck, man, that's the worst. You
Going back
never want to. I mean, you want to see your exes do well, but you don't want it in your face.
All right, let me tell you my worst flight story. Since you brought up Roman Murray from St. Louis, you'd appreciate this. Roman opened for me in Houston, Texas at the Improv. This is probably 17 years ago, 16 years ago, right?
Moved in, yeah.
So I'm at the Hotel Derrick. You know where the Derrick is, right?
Yeah, right before the mall, right by the mall.
Roman's at the Holiday Inn, which was a nice Holiday Inn, don't get it twisted. So headliners sometimes stay at different hotels. I know the
you're talking about too.
It's right by the club.
Right by the club.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep, it's a nice one.
So Roman, the manager at the time, for some reason this manager was the manager of a comedy club and didn't have a cell phone, which was mind-boggling to me.
Jeff?
No, it was a guy named Ernie.
I don't know Ernie.
So,
hey, Peaches.
No, Jeff's great.
Jeff's
you talking about
great.
Jeff? Yeah, guy that can't drive.
He cannot
I get in the car with him.
Great guy,
Hey,
can't
Mama
drive.
Kiki.
Yeah, hey, Mama Kiki.
Mama Kiki.
Hey,
And he,
man.
what the fuck, man? This guy can't drive. I go, you can't drive, dude. It's not everybody else. So anyways, Roman calls me, and this is probably the first time Roman's going to hear the story. He's probably going to call me after this. So Roman calls and goes, hey, Gary, man, they didn't come pick me up. I go, yeah, they didn't pick me up either. I said, just called a cab. This is for Uber.
Right.
I go, you want me to come swing in? We'll get you on the way. He goes, all right. So we get in the cab. I'm asleep. Roman gets in the car. I'm asleep. That fucking cab pulled up the Hobby. I'm going to Bush Intercontinental.
Oh, no.
Roman told that cab driver Hobby.
Oh,
He tried to play
no.
stupid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asleep. I wake up and I'm like this. Fuck we at? They're like this. Roman literally is in the passenger seat of the cab and goes, you ain't flying out of Hobby? I go, motherfucker, you know I'm not flying out of Hobby. Hobby's Southwest. I'm on United. I'm like this. You know. So Roman gets out.
Oh, Roman.
Hold on. Gives me $20 for the cab
$20.
ride, right? I still have asleep. Now I'm steaming, right?
And they're like an hour apart or so. Both, yeah.
Hold on. Roman gives me $20 fucking dollars. The cab ride after I had to go back to Bush,
Right.
like $95.
Yeah.
So I was like this. So then I went from first direct back to LA. I was living in LA at the time. Back to LAX was direct. Now I have a fucking layover. I got not only that, I got like 4 hours for the next flight. And like you, I'm coach. I was like this. So I went from direct first to coach, layover. I was like this. So I was supposed to leave at like 8 in the morning, be back in LA at 9 in the morning. You know, with the time change.
That's fucking the worst.
I got back at like 6 that night. I was like this.
And see, and people don't understand when you traveling back to LA, you get back that late, you've lost a whole day.
Roman Murray, thank you so much.
You lost a whole day. I got some Roman stories I can't really tell.
When he got,
I won't tell
the best
mine.
is this one, guy. You ain't flying out of Hobby?
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck are you doing with flying out of Hobby?
And scene.
Hold on. And I came and got you. I should not. What happened was the hotel front desk called me and goes, Mr. Owen, you have a phone call? And it was Roman who called the hotel. He's like, gee, what's up, man? I go, what's up? And he told me, they didn't pick me up either. I said, well, I just called a cab. Let's have him stop by and pick you up. It's on the way.
Man.
Right.
Hey, my responsibility. I got you the gig.
I didn't think about that at the time. You know, trying to be nice, soft heart. I was like this. Oh, you motherfucker. Yo, when I say everywhere I went that day, like if I was at Burger King, what do you want to eat? Fuck Roman Murray. Give me a. I was hot.
Roman got some. That's my guy, but he got some flim flam in him.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were on the road. We were in Dallas. And
hold on, Roman's a good dude.
He's a good dude. He's a great dude.
He just did me wrong
Funny
in this
guy.
instant.
Funny fucking guy.
He just did me wrong in that instance.
Well,
I'll put it that
this
way.
instant, we're on the road. We're in Dallas, and Dallas had the 24-hour fitness, and they had the basketball court. So we're gonna go play basketball. I'm trying to work out, trying to stay in shape. Roman's a big guy back then, and he said, "I ain't got no basketball shoes." All right, fuck it, let's go. Went to the mall, went to Foot Locker. Gave him $100 just to buy some shoes. You can get the ones that's on sale. We're just playing basketball. This motherfucker bought some Reebok, like the shoes that you wear with jeans. But
not basketball shoes.
Nothing athletic about these goddamn shoes. I'm like, motherfucker. I bought these so you can kind of stay in shape. You way overweight. I'm trying to, take you to the gym with me. And you buy some fucking Reebok. What's the little classics?
Yeah.
You buy classics.
I know you're talking about.
You can't hoop in them motherfuckers. Low top. He put them on the bus like, dude, this is, oh man, I like these better. Well, fuck, I was just trying to get you to stay in shape. But Roman, I love you, Roman, but you got some flim flam in you, man.
Yeah.
There's some other stories I won't tell.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's what I said. I don't want this to be like bashing people.
No,
not at all. That's a great
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did me wrong on that hobby one.
Yeah,
I was
that was
like,
wrong. That's funny. It's funny wrong.
It's funny now.
Wrong. Funny now.
Yo, when I say asleep, pull up. What the fuck we at? I've never seen it like this. What the fuck? Roman's reaction was this though. You flying a hobby? When he backed up and looked at me, I was like this. You knew I wasn't flying a hobby.
For those who don't live, who don't know the difference, hobby is like who live in LA. It's like pulling him at Burbank when you're supposed to be at LAX.
Yeah, hobby and Bush Intercontinental.
Yes.
Yeah, so Roman was flying out of Burbank,
Yeah.
and I was at LAX. I was like, I'm not flying out of hobby.
Yeah.
You knew that.
They got one door at Burbank.
And then in fact, he gave me $20. I was so asleep, I didn't even realize, hey man, this is for the cab. I was like, all right.
And Houston traffic is no joke.
This is
It's
rush
no-
hour.
yeah,
there
it's
was
no
no way
joke.
I was making my flight.
There's no way.
And it just, when you're stuck in traffic on your way to the airport, knowing you're missing a flight, that's not your fault. Like I
Right.
gave myself ample time to get there. I was like this.
Oh, you hotter than slave pussy.
And I was, back then, I was probably partying more. Probably had some drinks the night before. Probably hungover. I was like this.
As my man Torry Rock says, late nights, early flights.
Oh, not anymore. I'm coffee shop
What-
dude.
Yeah.
That's when you're getting older and stand up. You
So I go to
start
cigar
out-
lounges.
I'm starting to smoke cigars too. What's your favorite?
My first is Padron's 64th anniversue.
Oh, I think I asked you this.
My second is the Liga number 9.
See, I'm new. I got some in my bag. I got some East Slidell Souls I puff on. I got Russell Peters hooked on them.
Yeah,
'cause
Russell,
they're sweet.
Russell smokes a little bit. Cedric has a cigar.
I saw that.
Yeah, the entertainer. I smoked that.
Yeah. Is this good?
It's
Is it
good.
like in
It's
Connecticut?
good.
Is it sweet?
No, it's not sweet at all.
I like a little sweetness to mine.
Yeah, you know what? I grew out of
That's
the
Walter
sweet
Payton.
phase. Yeah, I grew
Everybody says I'm going to grow out of it.
You
the more I
will. Your
smoke.
palate will change. But if I want one now that's kind of flavored, that's still like a real cigar, it's two I recommend. One is Superfly, like the movie Superfly, same logo, everything. It's made by Leaf by Oscar. That's a good
Okay.
one. Has a tint of flavor. And then Macanudo makes a coffee one. That's like a real cigar, but just a hint of flavor.
Mac noodle?
Macanudo.
Macanudo?
Yeah. But then you got the 3 bitches. If you really like a lot of flavor, you got 3 bitches. It's Crazy Alice, Sweet Jane, and Fat Bottom Betty. Those are some really good. I wouldn't mess with acid. I would do acid before I smoke an
I
acid.
got one acid cigar.
I would do acid before I smoke an acid. I would do acid before I smoke
Why?
an acid. It's too sweet. It's diabetes. It's smoking diabetes.
Oh, because I got one acid and I got it for my birthday. Kenya.
Somebody don't
I
like
had,
you.
I had
No,
a Cuban.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
I had a Cuban themed surprise birthday party and just people in our
That was
neighborhood.
dope.
And she brought a real cigar roller, a real guy from
that's dope.
Cuba.
No, those are dope.
But I have to let it age for 3 months in the humidor.
Oh, smart. Okay.
So you guys smoke it right
Yeah.
away. He goes, or let it age for 3 months.
Let it
So it's
age for
about a
3
month in.
Yeah.
And then the guy gave me a special one at the bag. He goes, and it would say acid 20 something. It's bad. I don't know what
So
it
I haven't
is.
had that one. I had the lower end acids. I don't know what the other acids are.
Oh
man.
no, this is drug addict acid. I'm
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah, no,
Knowing
yeah.
Kenya, yeah, she
Yeah.
probably got that from an
Yeah.
acid wash
No,
jeans.
I love smoking cigars, man. It's my new kind of like thing.
As we're getting older.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like I said, I find a good coffee shop in the mornings now.
Yep.
And then I've been going to cigar lounges too, even with COVID, because a lot of cigar lounges are outside and you can still social distance.
Yeah.
And then you always get that one person to ruin the night. It happened in Jackson, Mississippi. God dang. We had a good cigar lounge outside. Everybody was cool, but one guy would not leave me alone. I was like, dude.
Yeah, you just want to go and chill and
Jesus
relax
Christ.
because people don't understand when you get done with a show, especially you got a 2-show night. We're trying to come down mentally and emotionally off that show.
Mm-hmm.
At least I am. I know I don't want to go to no club. I want to come down and relax, smoke a cigar, and just play the show back over my head
Mm-hmm.
and blah blah blah. But yeah, we're getting older, man.
Appreciate that guy.
Yeah.
We're doing
Old bastard.
podcasts. Duh.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody 20 doing no podcast. They're
Hey,
doing
some of them
TikTok.
motherfuckers don't- Yeah, they are doing TikTok. I don't even.
That's everybody saying, you gotta get on TikTok. I go, I got a podcast.
What's it? Kanye wants to do Jesus talk. He's trying to.
Kanye changes his mind every day.
Every fucking day.
Every
He's
day.
trying to do Jesus talk. He's trying to really fucking talk to the TikTok people to give him his own Jesus talk.
He knows what he's doing. He's a mad genius.
He is a man
For real.
genius. He is.
But look, you wanna pump anything? Any date? This is
yeah,
airing
just-
this week. So
airing this
any
week.
dates got coming up?
No. I'm focused on the documentary.
Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday
who
documentary.
I think would
which
be an
is-
amazing TV show.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. I created more than just the doc, so now it's other tentacles to it that we'll
I
talk
would like to
about it
see
on-
the young me.
Dude, I'm looking at the old me when I can see my cheekbones, man. That was a lot smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the teeth I had back then though.
Yeah, but you're aging well. You and Joe are both aging well.
Well, that's mom, man. But no, just follow me on all my social media handles at Guy Torry, GUYTORRY. Find me, follow me. My comedy kitchen may come back soon. You cook?
Every now and then.
Okay, I may have come and do a comedy kitchen with me.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, man.
As long as it's gluten free, sugar free. We're getting
Whatever you
old.
want to cook, it's whatever
We're
you want
getting
to
old,
cook.
guy.
You pick the dish, I follow you.
Oh,
on
okay.
How you cook it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be easy.
So I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
do
do
a
like
special
a-
one. some
I'm
really
going to
white.
the blackest shit
You
ever.
should. You should.
Yeah, I'm doing yams, fried chicken, greens, banana pudding, peach cobbler, like this. What the fuck is going on with Gary?
Red Kool-Aid.
Oxtails.
Oh, do some oxtail. Ooh.
I'm going to bring in a real ox.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to
We
do
got to
the
cut the tail
oxtail.
off.
Do the
Gary,
oxtail.
it's not an actual tail. It's actually I was wondering how they cook this shit. God damn it. No, this ox doesn't have a tail. You know how hard I'm all beat up. You know how hard it was to get this fucking tail of this ox?
He shit on me twice.
All right, guy. I appreciate you coming on the show,
Man,
man.
it's been fun, man.
All right, man. See you next time.
Yes.
Appreciate it. All right, I forgot to ask Guy one thing before he left, and he left, and I had to reshoot this without him. He had to go, but I asked him who does he want to work with that he hasn't worked with yet. He said Denzel Washington and Don Cheadle, and he's worked with just about everybody else. And I keep asking all my actor, comedian friends who they want to work with. Fun fact, I asked Kevin Hart 2 months ago. He said Will Smith, and just got it announced this week that Kevin's doing a movie Will Smith. So what I'm hoping to happen is starting to happen. I want these people to name people, and then I want them to work with those people. Boom.